Alrighty, welcome back everybody to our latest live stream. We're doing a bit of an emergency live stream because we have a couple of tornadoes that are in progress in Missouri, and this is all from an MCS that has been developing for the last several minutes now, currently ongoing in southwest Missouri. We actually have a PDS tornado on the ground.
This is an emergency alert. A PDS tornado warning has been issued.
Things are taking a turn. We have a PDS tornado that's in progress. This is going to be located north of Springfield, Missouri. This is going to be near the Fairgrove area, Goodnight, and Pleasant Hope. This was just issued moments ago, and this is a confirmed PDS tornado. That is a particularly dangerous situation that is ongoing near Fairgrove, moving east towards Conway, and as well as areas like Phillipsburg. If you are currently in this tornado warning, you need to be in your safe place immediately. This is, again, a PDS tornado that has just been confirmed by radar, and I just saw that on radar a moment ago. We had very tight rotation. It's the storm that's right now over Fairgrove right now, so there is still possibly a particularly dangerous tornado on the ground near Fairgrove, Missouri. If you're in this area, you need to be in your safe place immediately, away from windows, lowest floor possible. The tornado warning for Springfield, Missouri has just been canceled, by the way, but again, we do have an ongoing large and extremely dangerous tornado in progress. That's gonna be near Pleasant Hope and going towards Marshfield and Conway near Interstate 44. Again, if you are in this tornado warning, you need to be seeking shelter immediately, away from windows and lowest floor possible. This is again associated with an MCS that is ongoing, and we have a whole cluster of storms here. Many of these have been rotating over the last 20 minutes. Would not be surprised if we get more tornadoes out of this. But again, if you are just tuning in, this is a large and dangerous tornado that has just been confirmed by radar that is going to be moving towards Conway, Marshfield, and Phillipsburg in southwest Missouri. Again, seek shelter immediately, away from windows, lowest floor possible. Again, this is a particularly dangerous tornado that is on the ground right now in southwest Missouri. Again, we are doing a bit of an emergency live stream here on the tornado threat that is all of a sudden growing back in southwest Missouri. We just had a confirmed tornado back west of Springfield not long ago. That was about 20 minutes ago. And this is another one that has just gone PDS. Again, particularly dangerous situation right now, just north of Springfield, Missouri. If you know anybody in this area, please make sure to give them a call or text, make sure they're all right. Again, this tornado threat has really started to grow almost out of left field at this point. Tornado is going to be located right here, by the way. So we have a large and perhaps, again, a particularly large and strong tornado possible right now that's moving over Fairgrove, Missouri. And again, this will be moving towards areas like Marshfield, right along Interstate 44 near Northview, Conway, and Phillipsburg. Now, the velocities weakened quite a bit on the latest scan. We'll see if they stay together. At this time, it is still a PDS tornado. The velocities will update here in just a moment, and we'll see what's happening there in a moment. But at least for a scan there, it looked like a pretty strong tornado that was trying to develop back near Goodnight and Pleasant Hope. You'll actually see that right here when I pause it. Right there at Goodnight at about 10:47 p.m. That was about 8 minutes ago. We probably had at least a tornado on the ground there. It might have been strong. If we still have a tornado, though, in progress, it's going to be located just off to the northeast of Fairgrove, east of Route 65. That'll be moving towards Interstate 44, Conway, Marshfield, and as well as Phillipsburg over the next several minutes. Again, if you are in this warning, make sure that you are seeking shelter, away from windows, and lowest floor possible. Yeah, honestly, I didn't expect we would go live again tonight. This really came out of nowhere. I was literally looking at the radar a few minutes ago, and all of a sudden I saw that there's a PDS tornado. And again, if you are in Charity, Pleasant Hope, Elkland, Fairgrove, Marshfield, Northview, or Conway, all those areas, you need to be in your safe place. Again, that is just north of Springfield. Now, I don't think this tornado is still on the ground, but with that being said, I would definitely just err on the cautious side of things, just in case. They do have this as a PDS tornado still. Again, this does include areas near Fairgrove, Conway, and Marshfield, just north of Springfield, Missouri. I'm going to zoom out just so you have an idea of where we're at. We also have another storm going right through St. Louis. They've been getting hammered today. But this is what we're looking at right now in terms of the tornado risk. The tornado watch goes until 3 a.m. tonight, anywhere from southern Illinois back into eastern Oklahoma. So that tornado watch is still ongoing until then. This is still a PDS tornado as of right now. They just updated it, I believe. Yeah, they just updated this, so it's still a PDS tornado. Again, make sure that you're staying in your safe place, away from windows, lowest floor possible. And again, this does include Marshfield, just west of Conway, in areas in southwestern Missouri. That is, again, your tornado. It's going to be located right there near Fairgrove. If it is still on the ground, which we don't have any radar confirmation of this on the radar right here. Back when this tornado first began, we had radar confirmation, but I would still stay on the cautious side of things and stay in your safe place just in case that this is still on the ground and it is still a large and strong tornado. I would just make sure that you're staying in that safe place, whether that is your basement, your storm shelter, your bathroom, your closet, whatever it might be. Again, make sure that you're just staying in your safe place right now, away from windows and lowest floor possible. Again, this is a life-threatening situation if you are right now in this area, if this tornado is still on the ground. PDS means particularly dangerous situation, which in a lot of cases means a strong and or large tornado that is in progress. Again, if you're tuning in, this is in Missouri. It's in the title, by the way. If you know any friends or family here just on the north side of Springfield, make sure that they are doing all right now. We have multiple storms that have been rotating in this MCS that we've had ongoing for a while. I'm not going to be surprised if we get more tornado warnings out of this over the next couple of hours. It's been a pretty intense area of storms, and with that being said, we've already had a few tornadoes in this particular region. We just had one about 30 minutes ago west of Springfield, and again, this is our PDS tornado, which is again a large and perhaps strong tornado that is in progress. Going to be approaching areas like Marshfield and Interstate 44 near Conway over the next several minutes in southwest Missouri. And again, that tornado is going to be located right in here. That's your little hook echo in the MCS, or yeah, the MCS that we have. It's a little QLCS tornado that we have in here, and then right there's your inflow. So again, tornado would be located right there. That's going to be heading towards Interstate 44 in Marshfield, Missouri over the next several minutes. Again, stay in your safe place, away from windows, and on the lowest floor possible if you're still included in this warning. This is just to the northeast of Springfield, which Springfield was just under a tornado warning not too long ago. Again, I'm not seeing anything too tight and confined here. I'm a little bit surprised that it's still PDS. I'd still err on the cautious side of things, though, as this continues to move to the east. We don't have any sort of debris signature on radar with this particular storm. It is going to be moving towards Marshfield and Conway. With that being said, the National Weather Service moments ago did update this warning and still have it as a PDS tornado. So we're going to go with them at this point and make sure that, you know, again, if you're in this area, you are getting to your safe place immediately, just in case this is still producing a large and destructive tornado north of Springfield, Missouri. Yeah, that's northeast of Springfield. We also have a little bit of rotation that's trying to develop back up near Buffalo, and we're going to be watching those storms back up to the north as well with this MCS, because there will be an elevated tornado risk with this particular area of storms as they continue to move to the east. Yeah, Jonathan, that's what I saw too. I saw a little CC drop, and I thought this would actually grow in size and potentially be a bit more of a long track, strong tornado. But again, I have not seen that in the last few scans, so hopefully there's nothing on the ground. But obviously, just err on the cautious side of things just in case. At the bare minimum, we do definitely have some damaging winds here, so that's just something to keep in mind. But we definitely could have a tornado still in here somewhere. You never know. Maybe the radar's glitched. I don't know. I personally, I don't see anything. But again, it's one of those things where the National Weather Service did update it like a few minutes ago and still have it. It's a PDS tornado. So we're erring on the cautious side of things. And again, if you are in this area, I would still make sure that you are staying in your safe place, away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. And again, for those that are just tuning in, this is a potentially strong and or large tornado that is on the ground northwest of Marshfield, Missouri, just northeast of Springfield, Illinois. And again, if you are in this pink polygon, you need to be in your safe place. This is our first PDS tornado of the day, by the way, just for reference. We've yet to have one of those. No problem, man. Yeah, originally I wasn't planning on jumping on live, but this did definitely come out of nowhere. Is anybody in this area, by the way? Anybody near Springfield, Missouri? You guys hearing anything, seeing anything? Let me know in the chat. By the way, depending on how this coverage goes, I don't know what we're exactly doing tonight, but I actually might do some Q&A on tomorrow's severe weather event. So, depending on what everything looks like. So, just stay tuned. Might as well since I'm here. By the way, there is a new tornado watch that was issued before we get our next radar scan there. Tornado watch has been issued until 3 a.m. That's for central and southern parts of Illinois, back into much of Missouri, and as well as eastern parts of Oklahoma. So still a pretty large area here. So just keep that in mind. Still an ongoing, pretty large tornado watch that has been issued for many areas. And new radar scan showing, again, really no rotation here. It's mostly damaging winds at this point. I do think they will probably cancel this warning, or at least update it so it's no longer PDS, but we will stay on the PDS warning, at least for now. And for those that are just tuning in, again, this is possibly a PDS tornado that is still in progress northeast of Springfield, Missouri, approaching Marshfield and Conway. Again, we haven't really had any radar confirmation aside from very early into the storm when it first was ongoing just north of Springfield, right there. That is when we likely at least had a tornado on the ground. It might have been on the strong side, but it wasn't on the ground for too long. That was at 10:47 p.m. And then shortly after that, it weakened pretty quickly. Maybe we still have something. Maybe we don't. Again, I would still err on the cautious side of things just in case, and I would just stay in your safe place. Just in case there is still a tornado here for whatever reason on the ground that the radar is just not picking up for some reason. Again, this is moving towards Marshfield, Interstate 44, and Conway, just north of Springfield, Missouri. So again, stay in your safe place, away from windows, lowest floor possible. The roof to your garage was ripped off in Springfield, Missouri? Really? We had a confirmed tornado just west of Springfield not too long ago. It was about 20 to 30 minutes ago. Hey, stay safe, Gabriel. I just want to go to bed. I cannot disagree with you. It's basically midnight or 11 p.m., depending on where you are. Next Storm Prediction Center outlook is at 2 a.m. No problem, Gabriel. And this PDS tornado warning is still ongoing just northeast of Springfield, Missouri. If you are included in this tornado warning, stay in your safe place, away from windows, lowest floor possible. And this is still an active tornado warning that will go up until 11:15 p.m. Central Time. And we also have 5 other severe thunderstorm warnings, by the way. There are a few that are near St. Louis for reference. So there are some severe thunderstorm warnings still ongoing this evening. This QCL, or this MCS, I should say, has had some rotation for quite some time. I'm not going to be surprised if we get another isolated tornado out of this. Next area I would be watching for would be back up near Lebanon. A little area of rotation trying to develop up there. So keep a close eye on this line of storms. It's definitely going to be a tornado risk here across much of southern Missouri over the next several hours as this continues to march more to the east. It has had a lot of rotation here as of lately, and I would not be surprised if we got another tornado or two as this moves throughout parts of southern Missouri. And by the way, St. Louis is getting hammered again with another quarter-sized hailstorm with 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds. So just a heads up, if you're in that area, that storm is continuing to bring some more severe weather to your area. Yeah, I'm waiting for the next velocity scan. And as of right now, we don't really have any sort of crazy rotation on this storm on radar. They still have it as PDS. They just updated the warning again, so I'm going to continue to take their word for it, and I'm just going to say stay in your safe place, away from windows, lowest floor possible. The National Weather Service still has this as a PDS tornado with a large and perhaps strong tornado on the ground moving towards Marshfield, Missouri. Again, I don't see it on radar here, and I've said that multiple times. It could still be on the ground, though, so just make sure that you're taking the proper precautions right now if you're in Marshfield and seeking shelter immediately away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. Interior room of your home or building. Again, this will be moving right into Marshfield in the next couple of minutes if there is still a tornado on the ground, and it's going to be going right over Interstate 44 here just north of Springfield, Missouri. So again, if there is still a tornado on the ground, it's going to be right there. Springfield, Missouri local news saying it's confirmed on the ground. Yeah, I'm guessing they're relaying the same information that they have on these warnings, and I am too. I'm just saying, again, I don't see anything. That doesn't mean it's not on the ground still, but definitely a secretive tornado if it is on the ground, because again, usually you would see something on radar. But again, stay in your safe place if you're in this warning, away from windows, lowest floor possible. Definitely seeing some damaging winds. We don't have any correlation coefficient drop here, for the record. Again, this is moving right now to the east, and it'll be going towards Marshfield. Long term, if this does continue to produce a tornado, Hartville and as well as Upton and Houston, Missouri will be in the track of this. In addition to all this storm is producing damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour and 2-inch sized hail. Again, this is moving to the east.
This is an emergency alert. A PDS tornado warning has been issued.
I guess the emergency alert wanted to go off. Cool. Fantastic. Yeah, this is our only PDS tornado warning right now. This is moving to the east, and our only tornado warning in general. We do have 3 other severe thunderstorm warnings, but again, if you are in Marshfield near Interstate 44, make sure that you are staying in your safe place, away from windows, and on the lowest floor possible in case this is still a large and perhaps strong tornado that's on the ground here in Missouri. In Marshfield and safe. I'm glad to hear that. I hope this is just a false alarm. Yeah, they still have this as a PDS tornado as of 3 minutes ago. So, yeah, I'm just relaying what I know from what they're saying, even though I don't see that on radar. I'm not gonna, try to second guess it. Do got some rotation developing near Cedar Ridge. Watch out for this. I would actually say this is definitely gonna be something to watch. This is not tornado warned. If you're in Lebanon, seek shelter. Got some rotation developing just west of Lebanon. Even though you're not in a tornado warning, that could produce a tornado here in the next few minutes. That's a growing area of rotation we've been watching for a few minutes now. So Lebanon, Missouri. I would get to your safe place and just take the err on the cautious side of things with that particular area of rotation as well. New radar scan just came through. We'll look at the velocities. Lebanon, Missouri has been issued into a pre-tornado warning. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you're under the... Actually, there is no tornado possible. But I was about to say, there would be like, usually there's a tornado possible with these severe storms. That rotation weakened pretty quickly. Possibly something brief there, though. We've had rotation up there for a little while. That might try to recycle. Again, if we still have a tornado on the ground, it's going to be right just to the north of Marshfield. Let's go to the correlation coefficient. Again, nothing on the correlation coefficient, but I'm still not ruling out that there's still something here that we just don't see here on radar. Again, this has been radar confirmed as a PDS tornado for a while. So it's entirely possible we still have something here, but yeah, at the bare minimum, I'm just going to relay the information that we have, but it expires in 4 minutes, so we will know for sure here in a couple minutes whether it was just a false alarm or not. There was probably a tornado, though, briefly, back just near, like, the Pleasant Hope area on this particular storm. But obviously, just stay in your safe place if you're in Marshfield, just in case there's something on the ground. For those that are in the Marshfield area, are you guys seeing or hearing anything right now? Just let me know in the chat. I know we have a couple of viewers, at least, from Marshfield. That's a serious false alarm. It was confirmed, but it was not confirmed recently. I mean, this was like back near Pleasant Hope is when it was on the ground. This was right here when it was confirmed. I'll pause it here. This is when it was confirmed near Pleasant Grove. Oops. Sorry. Can I stop this? There we go. So that right there, that's when it was confirmed. That's in Fruitland. That's when we had the tornado on the ground. That's when it was confirmed. And this is what happened over the scans. Very strong winds. Those velocities right here, those are 80 to 90 mile per hour winds, but weakened very quickly. And we didn't really have anything after that. So, again, the assumption is that it weakened, but who knows? Maybe they know something we don't. I don't know. But that right there, that was back at about 10:47 p.m. That was about 25 minutes ago now. So quite a while ago. Northeast Marshfield, the wind is howling. Thank you for the report. So, I mean, we're getting reports of high winds, at least in the Marshfield area. I mean, that at least verifies the damaging wind threat that we have here, but... Tornado warning does expire in 2 minutes. Your warning is until 12. This warning only goes until 11:15. The tornado warning. New radar scan should be coming in here in a moment. And again, back up near Springfield, we got a strong storm in, or not Springfield, sorry, in St. Louis. Got a strong storm here. Not really seeing any rotation right now. We'll be watching that closely if it tries to develop some sort of low tornado risk. I would say, though, the greatest tornado risk over the next few hours will be out of this MCS that is developed. We'll have a shot of a strong tornado or two out of this particular area of storm, this particular line of storms. Not too long ago, we did have, again, a PDS, but actual, like, potentially strong tornado, at least, back over near Pleasant Hope, but that seemingly has weakened since then. But again, we'll keep a close eye on that. We do have a new tornado warning that has just been issued.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
New tornado warning for Evergreen. This is another pocket of rotation that's back up here to the north near Evergreen in Phillipsburg, just off to the northeast of Springfield, Missouri. If you are in this tornado warning, seek shelter immediately away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. This is a new pocket of rotation that is developing. We got another one up here near Lebanon. There's really 3 pockets of rotation. This one with the PDS is really weakened. It's almost non-existent. But we got 2 different pockets of rotation right here. And that PDS tornado warning has officially expired now. But we do have 2 areas of rotation. One near Lebanon, Missouri, and the other one that's near Phillipsburg. That'll be moving towards Evergreen. So if you are in this tornado warning, make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately, away from windows, and on the lowest floor possible in an interior room of your home or building. Lebanon as well, I would go ahead and just stay in your safe place as the storm passes. Though you may not see some sort of, you know, tornado, I would just err on the cautious side of things. There are damaging winds with that storm. There is some large hail perhaps with the storm as well, and I would not rule out a tornado dropping with this storm as it moves off to the east. It's not out of the question here. We're going to stay on this for at least one more radar scan. By the way, I will be answering some questions in the stream, so just give me a few minutes. We literally just went live for a PDS tornado, so. By the way, this does include Conway, Missouri, Phillipsburg, and Evergreen. Those are the 3 areas included in this tornado warning. Morgan and Competition, Missouri are also included in that. Pretty small towns there, but those are also included in this brand new tornado warning. The other area I have circled up here, this is not tornado warning, but it is rotation. I would still seek shelter if you're in Lebanon as a precaution. So if you're in Lebanon, Missouri, near Interstate 44, just err on the cautious side of things and get to your safe place, just in case that storm tries to produce something. And we also have a little bit of rotation, very, very weak and broad rotation, back up north of Lebanon. Not something I'm concerned about now, but might be something to watch for over the next 15 minutes or so. Stronger pocket of rotation located near Phillipsburg, and this one obviously definitely stronger. We have more orange and pink colors there, and that usually represents some higher wind speeds, which might mean we do get some sort of tornado here in the next few minutes. By the way, thank you, Tara, for becoming a minimum velocity member. I appreciate that. Thank you. And thank you, Steve, for the $2 super chat. And there's your new tornado warning.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
So another tornado warning now issued for Lebanon. That's the other rotation that I was just talking about. Yeah, if you are in this tornado warning, seek shelter immediately, away from windows, lowest floor possible. This is currently moving east-northeast into Lebanon now, so 2 different areas of radar-indicated rotation that are going to be moving towards Interstate 44, eventually going to be going towards St. Robert, but in the immediate track do include Phillipsburg, Conway, and Lebanon. This is again in southwest Missouri. This is northeast of Springfield, Missouri. Seek shelter immediately, away from windows, lowest floor possible. That is either a basement, a storm shelter. Again, just get to your safe place. Don't question it. Just get there. Again, we got 2 different tornado warnings here in southwest Missouri right now. And again, this is all associated with a line of storms that is currently moving to the east. And we should have the velocities update here in a moment. We'll see what the velocities look like. Here's a zoomed in view of the rotation here. The rotation's a bit weaker, looks like here, not nearly as organized. We still have definitely some damaging wind potential there. And then right here near Lebanon, let's investigate that a little bit more. And we might have something, maybe like a small tornado there. It's possible. We do have the rotation isn't really that impressive, but we do have a little bit of rotation there. If we really zoom in, we may have like a small tornado or something like that near Brush Creek or Caffeyville. Perhaps at least a wall, or like some sort of wall cloud or funnel cloud, definitely possible there. That's going to be moving right into Lebanon and Oakland. So if you're in the Lebanon area of Missouri, Oakland, Harold Ford, Abo, Brownfield, Dry Knob, make sure that you're getting to your safe place, as this storm could easily produce a tornado at any time. Got a little bit of weak rotation north of this as well, so there's basically 3 pockets of rotation that we're watching right now, all in the same area here, with this linear cluster of storms that we have ongoing across southwest Missouri. Here's a bit more of a zoomed out look, just for reference on where we are. By the way, if you're just tuning in, again, this is the latest out of southwest Missouri. We just had a tornado confirmed about 40 minutes ago west of Springfield. We also had a PDS tornado about 15-20 minutes ago just to the northeast of Springfield. So Springfield dodged 2 different bullets. Both of those tornadoes were likely on the briefer side of things. With that being said, obviously they were possibly destructive in both areas. And hopefully, I mean, they weren't on the ground for super long, so hopefully it didn't do too much damage. But with that being said, obviously they were both tornadoes that happened very recently, with this particular line of storms that is still producing the potential for multiple tornadoes as this continues to move through Missouri. So, been very active here over the last several minutes. Getting a report of power flashing in Lebanon. So there's potentially a tornado in progress near Lebanon. Again, power flashing doesn't always mean it's a tornado, but in a lot of cases it could. And again, I'm just going off based off a report on chat, so who knows? It may or may not be accurate. Is there a more dangerous tornado warning than PDS tornado? Yeah, tornado emergency is the most dangerous. Again, we got 2 pockets of rotation right now. We also got a third one up here to the north that's not warned. So all 3 areas that I've circled are rotating. So if you're in Lebanon, the Conway area, again, just make sure that you're staying in your safe place for the time being. Should have a new radar scan here in a moment on the velocities. All right, we got a brand new severe thunderstorm warning for this entire area. So, large area included in a new severe thunderstorm warning. This includes St. Robert, Dixon, Licking, Sherrill, Upton, Plato, Roby Ducks, all those areas included in a new severe thunderstorm warning, and that includes basically this entire MCS that we have ongoing here. Main concern here will be damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, and as well as quarter-sized hail. Latest velocity scan not showing nearly as much rotation on either one of these storms, and all three actually aren't rotating a whole lot. So rotation's definitely weakened over the latest scan, but we'll still keep a close eye on it. Looks like we do have at least some development here of a couple of hooks here, so there's a possibility that these try to recycle and maybe produce a tornado a little bit further east. So we'll watch that closely. But for the time being, both storms on a weaker side of rotation, at least for now. That definitely could change, though, as they move further to the east. And as they push closer to St. Robert and Plato and Sherrill, Missouri. If you're just tuning in, these are two different tornado warnings in southwestern Missouri. They are northeast of Springfield. We had two confirmed tornadoes already in the last 40 minutes. We had one west of Springfield. We also had one just northeast of Springfield. Both tornadoes happened within basically the last hour. So we've already had two tornadoes out of this cluster of storms, and there's a possibility that we get more here soon. And we'll be keeping you posted with the latest on severe weather coverage. If you are just tuning in for the first time, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we'll be keeping you posted with the latest. And again, we will be live again tomorrow for extensive severe weather coverage. It's going to be a long next 24 hours. A lot of stuff coming up. As of right now, no confirmed tornado on the ground. We did have one about 20 minutes ago. But we do have two tornado warnings ongoing. I have to change my title. 1 second. Forgot about that. There we go. New radar scan will be coming in here in a moment. I am back. Yes, I know. I am back. Thank you, Brian, for becoming a maximum velocity member. I appreciate that. Thank you. Welcome to Velocities. Thank you, Sid, for the $2 super chat. New viewers want to know what PDS means. PDS is particularly dangerous situation. That's what we had at the beginning of the live stream. So that would be what a PDS is, a particularly dangerous situation. No tornadoes in Chicago. Chicago is not in the threat of severe weather really in general at all. Chicago is not going to have severe weather. I know you had some back in, what was it, late February or early March. It should be all right, at least for now. We are still watching for an elevated tornado risk here in southwest and southern Missouri over the next hour or so. Just a quick little update. We do have storms ongoing in northeast Oklahoma. These are not really rotating right now, but we do have damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. We will be watching for a low tornado risk with these as they move further to the east. Look at this. We actually may have had a brief tornado here right south of Locust Grove. Some strong rotation there for a brief moment. See if we can match this up with the correlation coefficient at all. It's kind of hard to see, but I don't know if we really had anything confirmed there, but definitely a strengthening of rotation briefly there, just east of Tulsa. Maybe at least had a funnel cloud of some sort. These storms are definitely still capable of producing tornadoes. No doubt about that. Still got two areas of rotation right now, south and east of the Lebanon area, near Evergreen, Missouri. We'll check out and see if we have any sort of CC drop, and I'm not seeing anything too definitive here. We got two different pockets of rotation right now. Very strong velocities, likely at least indicating damaging winds right now here across areas in southwest Missouri. But other than that, I'm not seeing anything too closed and confined for it to be a tornado at this point. Thank you, Glenn, for the $5 super chat from New Braunfels, Texas. Glenn, I recommend for Radar Omega, I would recommend really either the second or third option. I honestly love the third option. That's what I have, but I think the second and third option are really sufficient for the average user. Now, if you're really a weather geek, I would go for the third tier for sure. But if you want like the value, I think the second tier is the best. Appreciate the $5 super chat. Pebble Hail here in St. Louis, Missouri. Thank you for the report. Yeah, who's in St. Louis right now? What are you guys seeing over there? There's a severe storm up in St. Louis, and it's about to be going now into Illinois. We do got a pretty strong storm right now moving through that area. Damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour, quarter-sized hail moving right through the downtown area of St. Louis. And we also got some storm action moving through St. Clair, Union. Damaging winds up to 60 and maybe some quarter-sized hail. Doesn't look to be anything too much further beyond that, though. Yeah, if you're just tuning in, 2 tornado warnings right now in the same cluster of storms northeast of Springfield. Again, this is for the potential for a tornado at any time. This will be moving towards St. Robert, Sherrill, and Plato in southwest Missouri over the next several minutes. Thank you, Heather, for the $4.99. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, if you are in this tornado warning or either of these tornado warnings, make sure that you are staying in your safe place, away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. Interior room of your home or building. And we've just jumped up to 7 severe thunderstorm warnings, so those warnings are going back up again. Thank you, Deaton, for becoming a minimum velocity member. I appreciate that. Thank you. Welcome to the Velocities. Is there a potential for a tornado in St. Louis? Not really. It's a pretty low chance. The storms that are ongoing right now, I wouldn't really expect. I wouldn't expect much. Main concern would just be some large hail and perhaps some isolated damaging winds. New severe thunderstorm warning for golf ball sized hail just issued north of the other storms that are down here to the south, all associated though with the same cluster. That's south of Jefferson City. That is north of Interstate 44 near Iberia, going towards Vienna and St. Elizabeth. New radar scan. Let's check out the velocities again. I should update here in a second on these 2 different tornado warnings. And still got some rotation located just to the south and east of Evergreen. Another pocket of rotation northeast of Evergreen. These will be moving towards Plato eventually in St. Robert. So those 2 locations will need to be on alert. If you are in St. Robert or Plato, make sure that you are staying very weather aware. These 2 different areas of rotation are moving in your direction. Yeah, good reminder, by the way, make sure that you have your flashlights charged up, candles on hand, any source of light you should have ready to go tonight and as well as tomorrow if you're in the Ohio Valley. It's going to be a very busy day. New Storm Prediction Center update for tonight. They've just issued a new mesoscale discussion, and this is going to be for what's happening in Missouri and as well as western Illinois. The severe weather threat will continue across Tornado Watch 71. Damaging winds and tornadoes remain a concern with an ongoing QLCS, which is what we have right now back over near Lebanon and the Osage Beach area. Best chance for QLCS tornadoes will be right in this corridor here, so just south of St. Louis and south of Jefferson City and northeast of Springfield. So a little bit of a better, I'll do a little outline on here just so you got an idea, but this is basically the area where a greater risk for QLCS tornadoes will exist. So just south of St. Louis, just south of Jefferson City, and off to the northeast of Springfield is where that QLCS tornado risk is going to be maximized over the next hour. Still got a hook echo on this storm that's back down over south of Lebanon, and we also got another hook echo right in here near just north of Evergreen. It's an interesting little area here because we got 2 different hooks. Again, a tornado could be within either one of these. So we're looking for that potential for a tornado in either one of those hook echoes as this continues to move to the east-northeast. So again, if you are in either of these pink polygons, stay in your safe place, away from windows, and on the lowest floor possible. Probably going to have a new tornado warning on the one on the south side at any moment. Thank you, Macon, for the $1 super chat. Thank you, Tara, for the $5 super chat. Any severe weather threat for Memphis, Tennessee overnight? If you get anything, it would just be isolated damaging winds. I'm not expecting much, though, honestly. Thank you, Janice, for the $10 super chat. Hope school's going well. I appreciate that. It is going well. Thank you. I have an exam on Wednesday, and I have to do another severe weather live stream tomorrow, so good times. Not much time to study. Thank you, BM, for the $9.99 in St. Robert. Randomly saw your stream, just moved to my basement. Thank you. I'm glad I'm able to get the word out to you. Yeah, that's not far from these storms. You don't have to be in your basement right now. You still got like probably at least 8 or 9 minutes until the storm is actually relatively close to you. It is moving quickly, but you still got at least 8 or 9 minutes if you have to do anything. You're not under a warning really, other than the severe thunderstorm warning. You're not under a tornado warning right now, so with that being said, I would still stay in your basement once these storms get closer, because there will be a damaging wind risk. It's always good to stay on the cautious side of things. We'll have a new radar scan here in just a moment on the velocities. If you're just tuning in, we do have 2 tornado warnings right now in southwest Missouri. We have strengthening rotation on this storm southeast of Lebanon. This could produce a tornado at any time. This one also could still produce a tornado at any time. But these 2 areas of rotation are beginning to intensify. And we got a third one up here. We got 3 areas of rotation right now. All 3 of these could produce a tornado at any time. If you're let me zoom out. I'm gonna try to circle them more zoomed out look so you guys have more of an idea of where this is heading. So we got area 1 of rotation right here near Interstate 44. Got the other one back up east of Lebanon, and we got the other one east of Evergreen. So 3 different pockets of rotation. Let's put tornado there, but those are the 3 different pockets of rotation that we're looking at right now on this QLCS. We're probably going to get a new tornado warning for St. Robert here shortly, is my guess. Because this rotation is heading right towards St. Robert. It's not strong right now, but it is something that may develop over time. And then we got rotation back over west of Plato. We got rotation just to the east-northeast of Evergreen. So 3 different pockets of rotation right now, moving throughout southwest Missouri. This will be moving towards St. Robert, Sherrill, and Plato. So again, if you're in those areas, be very weather aware, be very vigilant. Could get a tornado warning at any time. I would recommend going to your safe place, though. If you are in St. Robert, Plato, Sherrill, Licking, all those areas, I'd recommend going to your safe place as a proper precaution here, as there could definitely be a tornado with either one of these storms at any time. It might be on the brief side of things, but obviously that could still cause damage even if it's brief. We still have a strong tornado risk tonight, so that's not impossible to see something like that. Thank you, ATX, for the very generous $20 super chat. What thoughts on a good 360 tower cam? I am not actually sure about that. I have no clue. I don't know. I really don't know anything about a 360 tower cam. So I'm not the person for that, but I do appreciate the $20 super chat. All right, we have a large tornado warning that was just issued.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
I don't know if I've seen a tornado warning this large before. It's a huge area, but we have 3 different areas of rotation. The National Weather Service here of Springfield has now issued a brand new tornado warning. This includes areas like Plato, Sherrill, St. Robert. If you're in any of those areas, you need to make sure that you're seeking shelter immediately, away from windows and lowest floor possible. And that is a brand new tornado warning, quite a large tornado warning as well. Again, includes St. Robert, also includes Rolla, Missouri, Sherrill, Licking, and Plato. And seek shelter immediately, away from windows, lowest floor possible. New radar scan will be coming in here in a moment. And everything that I have circled there on the left side of your screen, those black circles, those are all different pockets of rotation that are all capable of tornadoes. We have 3 different areas that could produce tornadoes here in the next few minutes. 3 different tornadoes are possible. Thank you, Glamis, for the $10 super chat. In Jefferson County, just south of St. Louis. Looks like I'll be up for a while tonight. Yeah, storms are going to keep rumbling on, probably a little bit past midnight tonight there. Thank you, Star. I appreciate the $5 super chat. Thank you. I'm glad you're staying safe wherever you are. Ralla, thank you. This is really Ralla and not Rolla. All right, here's the latest radar scan. Let's go ahead and I'll have to redraw everything because it has updated quite a bit here. So here's the latest radar scan as of 11:35 p.m. We got one area of rotation back up in here. We got another one that's kind of back down in here. We'd likely have one down in here, I think. Let's match it up with the velocities. Yeah, so those are the 3 different areas of rotation right now. So all those little hooks that I've drawn here on screen, I kind of want to redraw them because I want to put it more on the left side of the screen here. So again, we got an area of rotation right here near Interstate 44, another of which is back down east of Evergreen, and then the other one just west of Plato. Again, 3 different pockets of rotation. If you're in either St. Robert, Plato, Sherrill, Licking, or Rolla, make sure that you're seeking shelter immediately, away from windows, lowest floor possible. We have 3 different pockets of rotation that are all capable of producing the threat of a tornado. Just make sure that you're erring on the cautious side of things. Even though these tornadoes may only be brief, there's definitely a chance we could get a strong tornado. Again, we already had a PDS tornado at the very beginning of this stream back north of Springfield. I'm not ruling that potential out here as these storms continue to move to the east. What does PDS mean? PDS means particularly dangerous situation, and that is usually issued when we either have a strong and or large tornado on the ground. We do not have that right now. Rolla now? I don't know how I'm just trying to pronounce it as best as I can. I guess it's Rolla now. I thought it was just Rolla. It looks like Rolla. Again, if you're just tuning in, we are currently covering tornado warnings northeast of Springfield, Missouri. This is in southwest Missouri or southern Missouri, near Interstate 44. Yeah, if you know any friends or family in this area, make sure to give them a call or text. Make sure they're doing all right. We've already had a couple tornadoes out of this particular area of storms, and we could still see another tornado or two as this rolls across areas along Interstate 44 and just south of Interstate 44. Thank you, Civ, again for the $2 super chat. New radar scan will be coming in here in just a moment. Thank you, Luna, by the way, for becoming a minimum velocity member. I appreciate that. Thank you. John, you go down here to the bottom right and you click this paint bucket and you can just do the slider here. I like it on this. It looks smoother. All right, we have a new radar update. I'm not seeing nearly as many hooks anymore that we had before. We had like 3 at one point. We have one clear to find hook echo down here. Not really hook echo. It's kind of like, it's a small little baby hook is what I like to call it. Not really anything too definitive, but we do have a hook there that at least has some rotation. Velocity should update here momentarily. So this is one area of rotation that we have right back down here to the just to the east of Evergreen. That's really one of our main areas of rotation. We also got one that's back up near St. Robert. So we're back down to really 2 pockets of rotation. Again, these are both right now moving east northeast. If you are currently in Doolittle, Rolla, if you are in Sherrill, Licking, or Plato, Missouri, make sure that you are seeking shelter away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. So those are our 2 main pockets of rotation right now. Both areas of rotation, by the way, are still a little bit on the broad side of things, so I don't think an imminent tornado is happening, but we could still get one within the next 5 to 10 minutes. It's still possible. We'll see if they're able to organize themselves and perhaps produce a tornado. I would say the best chance of there being a tornado with this area of storms would be this one, but I'm still not ruling out perhaps a development up here if we end up getting some sort of organization. But as of now, there's not really any clean hook there. Thank you, Caleb, for the $10 super chat. Surely this line will weaken by the time it gets to St. Louis. Yeah, surely. Surely it'll weaken by the time it gets to St. Louis. I think St. Louis has had 3 different severe storms today at this point, and there's a chance to get 4. I mentioned this yesterday night, by the way. I mean, there was a very possible chance of getting 3 to 4 various tornadoes, or not tornadoes, severe storms yesterday. Or yeah, I said that last night. I said 3 to 4 different severe storms are possible. And we end up having 3 already, I believe. 2 or 3. And if it's not 3, it's 2, and then we'd be going on to 3. So, crazy stuff. Yes, tomorrow is a spooky day. It's our 50-year anniversary of the Enya, Ohio tornado, and that was the EF5 tornado that happened in Ohio on April 2nd of 1974, and we have a potential for a tornado outbreak tomorrow in the Ohio Valley. It's going to be just crazy. Thank you, Sleepy. Appreciate it. Let me check in on St. Louis real quick. Just going to check in and see if there's anything happening here. Not seeing any rotation right now. We do have obviously some damaging winds here. Lots of thunderstorms rolling through St. Louis. We got another severe storm going into St. Louis. Can you believe it? We just had one literally minutes ago, and we have another one going into St. Louis. This would be the 3rd or 4th today. Severe storm that's going to roll right through St. Louis. Unbelievable. That is actually legitimately unbelievable. That's just crazy. Yeah, if you're just tuning in, 1 tornado warning now, and it's the one that's very large. It includes St. Robert, Sherrill, Plato, and Rolla. And this is moving east-northeast. It'll be going to the east-northeast along Interstate 44. Pocket of rotation here. We also got one down that Hook Echo. And make sure that you're staying in your safe place, away from windows, lowest floor possible. Steelville? I don't know where Steelville is. Let me look it up. New radar scan showing a much stronger inflow now onto that southern storm. Much cleaner Hook Echo. This could definitely produce something. Yeah, the rotation's a bit more pronounced there, further to the south. We have organizing rotation going towards Egger Springs and Sherrill. So the one that's near St. Robert's, not nearly as intense, but we have organizing rotation right now back down on the southern side of where this Hook Echo is. So notice this hook right here that we have, and then we got your inflow going to the storm. Tornado would like to sit in there. That's really the most defined area of rotation that we have now. So we've been kind of going through different cycles here, but that would in particular be the most concerning area that we have right now for rotation. If you're in Steelville, I mean, I would just, you don't have to evacuate to St. Louis. There's not like a tornado emergency coming your way, at least right now. But just, I mean, just as long as you're not like a mobile home, I mean, you should be fine if you have a basement, storm shelter, a closet, a bathroom, an interior room. That's what I would recommend. Oh, thank you, Vets. Appreciate it. Thank you for $4.99. Osage Beach. Okay, thank you. And thank you, Johnny, for becoming a minimum velocity member. Appreciate that. Thank you. A tornado emergency is when we have a very large destructive tornado on the ground, usually EF3 plus intensity level. It's typically what a tornado emergency is. The last tornado emergency that we had, I think, was about a year ago. So it's been a pretty good amount of time since then. And I believe the last one that we had, I could be wrong. I thought we had one in we had one in Northeast Texas, but that was back in 2022, I think. That was one of the more recent ones. It was a tornado emergency that we had in Boston, Texas, I think. It's like Northeast Texas, if my memory's correct. Nashville was a PDS, so I don't think that was a tornado emergency. I was covering that day. I don't think that was tornado emergency, right? Maybe I'm wrong. New radar scan should be coming in here in a second. Yeah, if you're just tuning in, we got an organizing area of rotation. This is going to be heading towards the Edgar Springs area, and Sherrill, Doolittle, and Rolla will also be in the track of this. St. Robert, you should just stay in your safe place for the time being, as there is going to be a damaging wind risk as this moves further to the east. So again, make sure that you're staying in your safe place, away from windows, lowest floor possible, interior room of your home or building. And yeah, that rotation's definitely trying to organize itself right now. Got a clean inflow going into the storm right now. Definitely could get a tornado at any time. Waiting for that velocity scan here to update. Thank you, Gary, as well, for becoming a minimum velocity member. Appreciate it. Thank you. And welcome to the velocities. And velocities have not yet updated. I am waiting on that update. Seeing if there's any sort of indication of intensification here. And that's just west of Sherrill, Missouri. Fort Leonard Wood, you need to be in your safe place. St. Robert, Waynesville, Missouri. Edgar Springs, get to your safe place just in case a tornado tries to drop here. Rotation looks a little bit weaker than before, which is interesting because we have a much cleaner hook echo. Also have some rotation back up near St. Robert as well. That is rumbling up here to the east-northeast. Rotation still remains on the broad side, I would say, with both pockets of rotation right now, but again, we still could see a tornado at any time as this all moves to the east-northeast. Oh, thank you, Brandon, for the $4.99. Congratulations to Trenton and Kelly for getting married today. We're watching the broadcast from St. Louis. Hey, stay safe and congratulations. I guess I'm broadcasting to a wedding. That is the first, I think. Thank you, Altimeter, for the $5 super chat. I'm in Lynn, Missouri earlier tonight. Osage County was experiencing 60-mile-per-hour winds. There were a lot of mobile homes in rural Missouri. Or there are a lot of homes in rural Missouri. Yeah, I'm aware of that. There are a lot of mobile homes, and I always recommend, if you're anywhere, if you are in a mobile home, I always recommend ahead of time that you have somewhere to go, because a mobile home is not a safe place during severe weather at almost any time, unless it's just large hail. But even then, you know, damaging winds, even 60-mile-per-hour winds can heavily damage a mobile home. Anything above 60, it gets pretty bad. And it could be leveled at 80 miles per hour. I mean, it does not take much for a mobile home to get destroyed. So I highly recommend always making sure that you have some alternate plan in case you are in a mobile home. Go ahead of time and figure out where you should go, because it's just not safe to be in a mobile home. Also, thank you, Alaska, for the generous $9.99. Appreciate that. Thank you. Yes, I went live again. Yes, there was a PDS tornado. And we still have a tornado warning, and obviously, I don't think this particular cluster of storms will end its tornado risk anytime soon. I think it's going to keep going for a while. This is all associated with a QLCS that's moving through central southern parts of Missouri, and this will be eventually moving towards St. James and Steelville. We got a new radar scan coming in. So again, what we're watching for right now is some rotation near St. Robert and also some rotation back over west of Sherrill. And this is all moving east-northeast. Hail core is growing in size a little bit. We could be up to $half sized hail now that's located just south of St. Robert. This tornado warning, by the way, goes for 9 more minutes. See what the rotation looks like here in a moment. Thank you, Scooter, for becoming a minimum velocity member. I appreciate that, and welcome to the velocities. So our area of rotation right here, and we also got some broad rotation up near St. Robert. Overall, again, I'm not seeing really any tightening here on radar. I know the colors don't look great on here, but nonetheless, we do have some rotation again near the St. Robert and Fort Leonard area. And both pockets of rotation still on the broad side of things. We are monitoring the threat for there to be a tornado here at any time as this area of storms moves east-northeast. But rotation is much weaker on this southern hook echo that we have, or we did have. The rotation's weakened out on that one quite a bit. We still have some rotation, though, back up near St. Robert, though. And also, thank you, Devin, for becoming a minimum velocity member. Appreciate it. Welcome to the Velocities. Lamb, I highly recommend you don't. There is a ton of lightning in the area of the Rala area, and cloud of ground lightning can strike from miles away. You don't want to go outside. Even though the odds are very low statistically of you getting struck, it's just not worth it. Tornado warning has been condensed. It now only includes this particular area. So
a new tornado warning alert has been issued.
Is going off. It's for this storm, by the way. There's not another tornado warning, but just south of St. Robert, that is the particular area that we have rotation in. They have basically removed the tornado warning on this area. I'm guessing it's more because of it being hail, and it's also not really in a prime position. It's just a lot of lightning, hail, and there's not really any hook or anything like that up there. So we still have a hook echo in here, sorta. It's not great. I would call it a baby hook more than anything. Still a chance that we get a tornado here. It'll be moving towards the Rala area, St. James, and just north of Sherrill over the next several minutes. Again, this tornado warning does go until 12 o'clock, so another 7 minutes. Thank you, Colleen, for the generous $9.99 super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for going live for our warning. Helped me to stay calm. I'm glad it helped, Mariah. Thank you for tuning in. Glad I could help. We are using Radar Omega. You can download this app with the link at the very bottom of the description. I believe the tornado watch has just been condensed a little bit, just an FYI. I think it might have removed a couple of northern counties. Tornado watch still goes until 3 a.m. tonight, by the way. This tornado watch goes from Oklahoma, which this tornado watch actually expires in an hour, so that one ends at 1. But the tornado watch that's ongoing across Illinois and Missouri, that goes all the way until 3 a.m. Central Time. I know you want to go to bed, but unfortunately the weather said otherwise. So that's where we're at this point. But we do still have a severe thunderstorm warning for St. Louis. That's like the 4th one today or 5th one today. And that storm is still producing quarter-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. Thank you, Panda, for the $5 super chat. How is Southern Ohio looking for tonight? Main concern, isolated damaging winds, large hail. But that is pretty much about it. I don't think you'll see much more than that, though. And I don't really think you'll really see that. I think really tomorrow is your main concern. I think tonight will be all right. I would be kind of surprised if you had a whole lot of severe weather. I will be streaming tomorrow. We'll have in-depth severe weather coverage. Would you guys rather me just go live at like lunchtime and do a Q&A or make a video forecast? Which one would you guys rather me do? And the Q&A would be, well, I'll do a Q&A live stream and then I'll do severe weather coverage. Just say in the chat, video or Q&A, and I probably will not. I don't think I'm going to do both. Or maybe we will. There's actually kind of split in the chat. I might have to do both. New radar scan just came in. Let's check out the velocities again. I'm not seeing really a whole lot of rotation here. This is the pocket of rotation. It's just west of Edgar Springs. And again, this is moving east right now. Still stay in your safe place if you're in Edgar Springs, as well as Rolla, Doolittle, and just north of Sherrill. And very rural areas, but obviously there's definitely some people that are in this area that I'm covering. I know a few people in the chat are definitely from the Rolla area. So, and rotation's in that black circle right there, and it's moving northeast. Warning expires in 4 minutes. Shane, thank you for the $5 super chat. Yes, technically it is, but it doesn't happen very often. You usually need moisture higher than that. Like, you usually need 2 points above 50 degrees Fahrenheit. If that ever happens, it's usually near like 49 degrees Fahrenheit, and it doesn't go much lower than that for tornadoes. All right, getting a lot of Q&A, so I'll probably just do a Q&A tomorrow. I might do a live, or I might do a video too. We'll see. If I do a video, it'll be up at like 8 a.m. New radar scan should come in here in a second. Somebody just said in chat, I'm in Dallas, Texas. Please tell me that if there will be hail today, tomorrow, and if school will get canceled. I don't know if any school has ever canceled for large hail before. I bet there has, but I bet it's very rare. But the short answer to that is no. You're done with severe weather for the next few days. So school is on. Thank you, Aaron, for the 199. Go live and stay up tomorrow. No siren. What? I don't know what that means. But yeah, I'm obviously gonna be live tomorrow. So just make sure you're subscribed to the channel. We'll be live tomorrow for in-depth severe weather coverage. Thank you, Chris, for the $5 super chat. Thank you, Eunice, as well, for the $9.99. I appreciate that. Thank you. Tennessee canceled schools tomorrow? Excuse me? Have any schools in Ohio canceled? I'm just out of curiosity. That would make a little bit more sense. I'm kind of surprised on Tennessee, though. I've never gotten canceled school before for severe weather. It's kind of crazy. Peak time for the moderate risk tomorrow. Peak time is basically 4 to 7. It's 3 to 7, 4 to 7, 4 to 8. Basically 3 to 8. It's the general time frame. Tornado warning does expire in 2 minutes. We'll see if it continues or not. Again, main concern right now is turning into a large hail and damaging wind risk. Do have a little bit of rotation, but it's definitely been on a weakening trend as of lately. Thank you, Michael, for the very generous $50 super chat. Let's get some hearts in the chat for Michael with a very generous $50 super chat. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. Shelly, I already have it on like a 50-second slow mode. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's all right. I'm looking at chat pretty frequently, too. I hate to break your bubble about chemtrails, but chemtrails are not a thing. Believe it or not. They're called contrails and they come from airplanes. Shocking, I know. I see this all the time. It's such a debate for some reason. I don't know why. It's kind of crazy. New severe thunderstorm warning issued for St. James, Rolla, Vienna, Dixon, and St. Robert. This is for the concern for damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour. Golf ball sized hail, and there is a tornado possible label, so they'll probably allow this tornado warning to expire. Tin hats everywhere. Is Lebanon safe for the night? Lebanon is clearing out. You're pretty much done. You got another round of storms behind you that might clip Lebanon, but I don't expect much severe weather there. I would assume the severe weather risk will be pretty low there overall. All right, we have no tornado warnings anymore. We do have a tornado possible, so we'll have to still watch that closely. Quick update for those in northwest Arkansas. We do have a damaging wind risk approaching. 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds in Rogers, Bella Vista, and Centerton and Elm Springs. That is moving east. Lots and lots and lots of lightning. So again, that'll be moving to the east. And then we also got severe weather again ongoing in central southern Missouri. Main concern is damaging winds and large hail. I'm not ruling out an isolated tornado still. And then back near St. Louis, we still have a severe storm near St. Louis. That is producing some 60-mile-per-hour damaging winds and as well as the potential for some oh, never mind, no longer producing anything, so that warning just got canceled. All right, cool timing. That severe warning's gone. Back over in Indiana, we do have some storms ongoing here, but the majority of them are not severe, primarily actually in southern Illinois. We'll be watching for maybe an isolated cell or two to produce isolated large hail or damaging winds in southern Indiana and southern Illinois over the next couple of hours. And then back over in Ohio, mostly just strong storms right now. Lots of thunderstorms out there. This is the prerequisite to what we'll see tomorrow with the more significant severe weather event that is expected. And if you've not already heard, tomorrow's severe weather risk is much larger than today, in my opinion, in terms of the tornado risk at least. Hail threat was much larger today. Tomorrow, the tornado threat will be much bigger. We have a moderate risk of severe weather for central, southern, and western Ohio, and as well as into West Virginia. I am expecting this threat to actually backtrack a bit. I do think that moderate risk, if it'll definitely stay in place, in my opinion. This would be the area that I'd be looking for the greatest concern. So I do think the moderate risk for tomorrow will backtrack to the west a little bit, and that enhanced risk will probably fall behind it. That's at least what I think will happen. That's where I see the greatest tornado risk being anyway, would be across areas in northern Kentucky and eastern Indiana, as well as western central parts of Ohio. I don't think the tornado risk will be this high this far to the east, in my opinion. With all that being said, it's going to be an active day tomorrow. I'll quickly go through the timing here, and then I'll be answering some questions because might as well, we're here. This is what it looks like for tomorrow in terms of timing. One moment, please. So this is the timing for tomorrow. We will begin with about 6 a.m. tomorrow. Plenty of thunderstorms out there. The majority of these will not be severe. Any severe storms would be isolated, damaging winds. By the time I get closer to lunchtime, after this loads, here's lunchtime or so. So again, thunderstorms being out there. Most of these will not be tornadic. By around 1 to 2 o'clock, we'll eventually start to see the beginning of a tornado threat across areas in eastern Illinois. Low tornado risk, but that'll start over there around 1. We'll also have storms near Dayton, Ohio as well, close to 1. By 2 to 3 o'clock, these storms are moving across Indiana and Ohio. And again, all modes of severe weather are possible. The main concern, though, will likely be tornadoes and damaging winds. By 4 o'clock, we got several discrete cells out there. All of these will be capable of a tornado risk, and eventually as we get closer to 5 o'clock, these storms are moving into areas like eastern Indiana, throughout central Ohio, and northern central Kentucky. Further down to the south, my main concern anywhere for Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, and Mississippi is going to be damaging winds. Would not rule out some large hail as well, but I think the greatest tornado risk will be in anywhere from basically central Tennessee and northward. And eventually as we get closer to 7 o'clock, that area of storms is turning a bit more linear, so that'll allow for more of a damaging wind risk across Kentucky and Tennessee, but there will still be a chance for a couple of tornadoes, with 1 or 2 being strong. And by 8 to 9 o'clock, storms are rumbling through areas like Lexington, Ashland, and in eastern parts of Kentucky. And after midnight, we're done with severe weather for hopefully a while, but we'll see what happens. So that's the timing for tomorrow. I will be answering questions in chat, so feel free to ask questions. And I'm also very behind on various super chats, so we'll also get to that as well. Tornado emergency doesn't mean EF5, it just means usually EF2 plus, or EF3 plus, excuse me. At least that's how it's usually classified. Either that, or it's just been a long tracked, strong tornado heading towards a very populated area, that as well. Thank you, Owl, for the $10 super chat. We had some hearts in the chat for Alexis, who has been asking you to check Eldon, Missouri for the last 30 minutes. I'm going to be honest with you, we have 9,000 people watching, and there's at least 1,000 people commenting like every minute or so. So for the record, it is quite the task to be able to answer 9,000 questions or whatever in 30 minutes. Eldon is pretty much done though for tonight. Just some heavy rain and some lightning, and that's about it. If you are in Eldon, nothing really concerning anymore. I do apologize again if I don't get to your question. It's literally just because it's one of me and over 8,000 of you. Thank you, Bowl, for the $2 super chat. I'm in Cincinnati. Should I buckle up? Sure. Buckle up tomorrow, because it's gonna be a busy day. Yeah, I honestly, I would be prepared tomorrow for sure. Just make sure you have multiple ways to receive alerts, have a tornado action plan in place. I do think Cincinnati will be one of the target zones tomorrow for that significant tornado risk, at least in the general vicinity. Thank you, Squirrely, for the $10 super chat. No problem. Appreciate the generosity. Louisville schools are canceled tomorrow, according to WLKY. Alrighty. I don't blame them in like a certain capacity, but at the same point, like, I don't know. I have some thoughts against schools closing for tornado risks. Sorta. I feel like it's kind of like one of those things where some people might even live in mobile homes and they might not have a better place to go. So, and schools usually aren't terrible. It depends on where you are, but it's a weird thing. I mean, I've never been in a school where we closed for severe weather. And I've been involved in significant severe weather days before. The best thing we ever got was a early release, and that was very rare even then. I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing. I don't know if you guys agree with that. I just think it's weird. I get it for winter storms because it's like impossible travel, but tornadoes I think are a little bit different. Unless it's like a high risk. I think a high risk makes sense. Or like a higher moderate risk tornado risk or something like that, but still a little bit weird. Thank you, Exeron, for the $5 super chat. I like this channel /service. Do you think tornadoes will make it to St. Louis tonight? No, I think St. Louis is really done. You guys have gotten hammered by so many storms tonight. I would be shocked if you got another severe storm at this point. You've had so many. I think there's been 5 different severe thunderstorm warnings now. It's been unbelievable. But I think you'll be winding down. You might get this QLCS. That's still possible, but I don't think it'll be as intense. I think isolated damaging winds will be the main concern by then. No problem, Exeron. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Thank you, Jen, for the $4.99. Is St. Robert, Missouri okay? My mom called panicking and hung up. Oh, there was a tornado warning there not long ago, but there was nothing confirmed, so I'm guessing she's fine. There was nothing confirmed by radar, and there's also nothing reported at this point, so I think she's fine. But there was a tornado warning. That might have been why. No problem, V Street. Appreciate you tuning in. Dayton, Ohio, tornado risk tonight? I'm not expecting a tornado risk tonight. I'm expecting it tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be the big day. That is when we have that large severe weather risk across much of the Ohio Valley. So Indiana and Ohio, those will be the 2 main areas to watch for tomorrow for a more significant threat of severe weather. And tornado risk being the greatest concern at this point.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
We do have a brand new tornado warning that has just been issued near Rolla. Let me go back to this radar site. Brand new tornado warning for Rolla, sorry, and St. James. Seek shelter immediately away from windows, lowest floor possible if you're included in this tornado warning. This is yet another tornado warning for Rolla. It's back. Rotation is going to be located right about here. So it's basically right over Interstate 44 right now. It's moving east-northeast. It's on the back side of the storm, so a little bit of a weird spot, but this sometimes happens with QLCSs. Again, if you are in this warning, seek shelter immediately away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. Again, this storm right now is moving east-northeast, going to be going through Rolla and as well as St. James. And this is right now moving east-northeast. Stay in your safe place away from windows, lowest floor possible. I'm in Branson, Missouri. Can I sleep? I don't know where Branson is, but I mean, you can sleep if you want. Again, just make sure you have multiple ways to receive alerts, just in case. If you're basically east or south of this cluster that I'm at right now in Rolla, then you want to make sure you have multiple ways to receive alerts. If you're north and west of it, the risk is much lower of seeing more storms tonight. Complete. I wouldn't rule out an isolated tornado and damaging winds. That's the main concern for that area tomorrow, north of Evansville, Indiana. I didn't have time to fill up my Brita, so I'm using water bottles. Fun fact. I'm already through 2 water bottles at this point. By the way, this is radar indicated rotation. There aren't any reports on the storm right now. So this particular storm, no reports at this point of a tornado or anything like that. It's just purely a radar indicated rotation. And Questionable was just asking in chat about this being PDS. This is not PDS. But I do expect this low tornado risk to continue over the next few hours as this all continues to move to the east-northeast. That is definitely still going to remain a possibility with these storms. Thank you, Rainbow, for becoming a minimum velocity member. I appreciate that. Thank you. Also, thank you, Alex, for becoming a maximum velocity member. I appreciate that, and welcome to the Velocities. And if you're just tuning in, this is a tornado warning in southwestern parts of Missouri. Again, this is right now moving east-northeast towards St. James and Rolla, near Interstate 44. So we'll be going towards Owensville and eventually towards Cuba if this tornado warning continues past this point. Again, rotations on the backside of this storm, and they've just issued another tornado warning.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
So we now have 2 tornado warnings for this same exact storm. This is a pretty early warning. But overall, again, this is going to be going towards Owensville, Gerald, Sullivan, and Steelville. If you are included in this tornado warning, again, make sure that you're staying in your safe place, away from windows, and on the lowest floor possible. And again, the rotation is going to be on the back side of this storm. So it's going to be right about there, just to the west of Rolla. I keep going back and forth between Rolla and Rolla. It's kind of crazy. It's Rolla, but I keep saying Rolla. But again, if you're in this tornado warning, stay in your safe place, away from windows, lowest floor possible. Rotation overall is still pretty broad, but I would just make sure that you're taking the proper precautions now. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. So again, that black circle is where the rotation is. It's just west of Rolla. Can I do a path? Yeah, I can put a timing guide on this. This is basically the direction it's going. It's basically going towards St. Louis at this point. So timestamps will be on the left side of your screen. A bunch of different areas here. St. Louis, basically, if you get hit by this, you'll be hit in about an hour and a half. But by that point, I do think this area of storms will be weaker. We'll have to wait and see, but I do think it'll be a little bit weaker by then. Still maybe an isolated tornado threat, maybe some damaging winds. Those will be the main concerns there for St. Louis. Again, there are 2 tornado warnings in south central Missouri. You are just tuning in. That is the main concern right now with these storms, in addition to damaging winds being possible. If you do have any photos or videos that you see on Twitter of the storm damage from earlier today, feel free to mention me in them at MaxVelocityWX. I'll try to retweet those photos and videos of tornadoes or damage or whatever it might be. What's the main concern coming with the storms from Oklahoma? The main concern will be damaging winds. That's the main concern. There's a lot of locations, by the way, in St. Louis, but if you're in St. Louis, the timing on this particular area of storms is going to be approximately 120-ish, 130. That'd be the ETA for this particular area of storms. It's moving pretty quickly. It's moving 60 miles per hour to the east-northeast. So if this is still tornadic, you'll have to be mindful. It'll be moving in your direction. Is this enough to be a small outbreak? You said you needed 6 earlier. I don't know if we had 6 tornadoes in like in a general region at least. I'm trying to think back. I mean, apparently we had a brief tornado near St. Louis. We had a couple tornadoes in Oklahoma, at least a couple. We may have had a few. I don't think, though, this got to a tornado outbreak scale. Even if we had those tornadoes, I still don't think we had enough for there to actually be this to actually be considered a tornado outbreak. So I don't think we got to that point. Tomorrow has a much higher likelihood of having a tornado outbreak, though. Questionable, yes. We have a Discord server. The link's in the description. Again, if you're just tuning in, this is in South Central Missouri. This is a QLCS situation that is going to be heading in the direction of St. Louis eventually. The main concern with this is damaging winds, some isolated large hail, and perhaps an isolated tornado or two. And the threat is primarily, though, for damaging winds. But still a tornado risk. We have 2 tornado warnings on this. Again, nothing confirmed at this point. We're actually up to 80-mile-per-hour damaging winds now, so this is a destructive supercell that's currently in progress near St. James and Rolla with 80-mile-per-hour damaging winds. This is all radar indicated, so if you are in the Rolla area, St. James, Cuba, Sullivan, or Owensville, make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately. We don't even have to seek shelter for the tornado risk. You need to seek shelter for the wind risk at this point, because that's one of the bigger concerns here, is that we have really high straight line winds that could easily knock over trees, power lines, and they could also destroy mobile homes. And if you are in these areas, you need to make sure if you're in a mobile home that you are going to an alternate shelter point, because a mobile home is not going to be safe in 80-mile-per-hour damaging winds. So make sure that you are seeking shelter immediately. And that's anywhere, by the way, in the severe thunderstorm warning. That goes from about Salem back into areas just in like Vienna, for example. And the black circle, again, indicates where I think the rotation is located. That's the general area just to the north there of Rolla. Again, this is currently moving east-northeast. General track of this will be St. Louis eventually. And we'll see if this stays intense all the way through St. Louis. Okay. Yeah, this storm is pretty much following Interstate 44. That's a pretty good reference, yeah. I mean, Interstate 44 is right here. It's been, for the most part, following it this entire time. And it will probably follow its way all the way up into St. Louis at this point. So, I said St. Louis probably won't see some more severe weather tonight, but unless these storms are able to prohibit that, this will just plow right through those storms. So far, it's had no issues over near, like, Owensville, for example. So, we'll see if these storms end up causing havoc with this and that it kind of weakens it out or not. We still got probably about an hour to see if that happens. But if you're in St. Louis, you may have more severe weather coming your direction right around 1:30. Not a guarantee, but it is possible. What time will I be live tomorrow? If we're doing a Q&A, probably 12. 12 Eastern or 12. Yeah, it'll probably be like 12 Eastern. It might be another 7-hour live stream tomorrow. I'm going to be honest with you. It might be another long stream. I'm going to look at the timing here. I'm going to need a vacation after this. I've been live so much over the last 24 hours. Yeah, we'll probably be live from 12 to 7. That's what we're looking at right now. Yeah, 12 to 7. That'll probably be the time frame we're live from in 2. So again, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe down below. Click the bell icon down below as well, so you are notified if and when we do go live tomorrow. That way you stay up to date, and that way you are able to get notified when we go live, which will probably, live stream start time tomorrow will probably be about lunchtime, so 12 o'clock or so. Maybe slightly later than that, but we'll see. Either 12 or 1, somewhere in that time frame. At this point, this live stream will probably go all the way up until the SBC update for tomorrow. So, we'll probably be here up until then. Because that's only 40 minutes away. Latest radar scan, let me just zoom back into the storm. Again, rotations on the back side of the storm, so it's gonna be near Rolla. If you are in this vicinity near Rolla or St. James, make sure that you are staying in your safe place, away from windows, lowest floor possible. We do have a little bit of rotation perhaps up there too, but that doesn't seem super convincing. But yeah, just make sure you're staying in your safe place. Getting a lot of reports out of the Rolla area of some small hail, upwards of dime-sized hail from some people in the vicinity. So we are getting some hail reports out of the storm, and this is again moving to the northeast. So St. Louis will be in the track of this. If you are in St. Louis, just stay weather aware. It's not an imminent concern, but it will be something to watch for over the long term, which is like the next hour. Thank you, Carrie, for the $5 super chat. In St. Peters, Missouri, about 30 minutes from St. Louis. Lots of lightning for sure. Loud thunder and huge lightning. Yeah, these storms have been highly electrified all day. One of the greatest concerns that doesn't always get outlined because it's not a severe weather threat technically is lightning. And lightning is everywhere today. This has been a highly electrified setup of storms that we've had today. It's been quite unbelievable. Thank you, Alexia, for the $2 super chat. Can Springfield, Ozark, and Rogersville, Missouri go to bed? Yeah, I mean, you're fine. Just have multiple ways to receive alerts. You might get one more storm, but I don't think it'll be too bad. Maybe some isolated damaging winds, lightning. Be really about it. I think really the main concern tomorrow for Alabama, for those that are asking, will probably just be damaging winds. Maybe an isolated tornado risk on the northern side of the state, but I think main concern will be damaging winds. Yeah, I think we're going to be live tonight all the way through the Storm Prediction Center update. Tornado warning has been condensed, by the way. It still does include areas now north and east of Rolla, and Cuba, Sullivan, Owensville, all included in that. By the way, I just want to throw this out there. After this live stream, we'll be live for a total of 10 hours today. It might be the most we've ever been live in a single day. And tomorrow, we're probably going to be live for about 7 hours. So, and we were also live yesterday for 2 hours. So about 19 hours in the last 3 days. Lots of live streaming. So, lots and lots of streaming here with the severe weather coverage. We'll hopefully get a much needed break after this. Thank you, Cryozy, for the $4.99. How's Wentzville looking? A couple hours west of St. Louis. You're fine. You're just looking at ordinary thunderstorms here for the rest of the evening into the overnight hours. Yeah, thank you, Josh, for the $4.99. And yeah, back over south and west of this tornado warning in Rogers, there has been a severe thunderstorm here for a little while. It's mostly just damaging winds, though, and that's about it. There's also a lot of lightning, so just stay away from windows. And we also got a storm near McAllister, near the Hart-Shorn area. Little storm developing there. Not seeing any rotation, but definitely a lot of lightning. But yeah, we have other storms down to the south and west, but majority of them have behaved themselves for the most part. New severe thunderstorm warning for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour heading toward Sullivan and Cuba. Thank you, Eagles fan, for the $5 super chat. Yeah, I mean, the tornado parameter values are high tomorrow. I do think tomorrow will likely be a tornado outbreak. The hope is obviously it isn't, but it is definitely looking more and more likely that we will have a tornado outbreak in the Ohio Valley tomorrow. And yeah, it's not looking good tomorrow. I'll just say that. Hopefully things change in the next 12 hours or so, but unfortunately, it's not looking too good. The amount of shear that we have in the environment is going to be really ripe. Very favorable low-level jet as well. Plenty of instability. Fast recovery for the atmosphere. It just doesn't look good at all. So, but again, we will be live tomorrow. So just make sure to subscribe to the channel down below. and we'll be keeping you posted with the latest. Be live starting around noontime all the way until 7 p.m. It'll be a busy day tomorrow. Again, if you're just tuning in, these are two different tornado warnings that are southwest of St. Louis near Cuba, Sullivan, northeast of the Rolla area. Main concern again is damaging winds and large hail with this area of storms. They are still issuing tornado warnings here in case we end up getting some sort of brief tornado. Again, this is all moving to the northeast right now, so stay in your safe place away from windows, lowest floor possible. If you are in St. Louis, I would still stay weather aware because this QLCS will be heading your direction here eventually. It'll be there in about an hour from now. So damaging winds would be the main concern if it is still severe by the time it gets there. Thank you, Rogue, for the very generous $20 super chat. Rip Rolla Car Group Cars. Shout out to Chess. I don't know what that means. But thank you for the $20 super chat. Appreciate it. Thank you, James, for the 669. We are currently camping in the mountains of Maggie Valley, North Carolina. How do you think the storm system will play out in our neck of the woods? I would say overall, the main concern will be probably late tomorrow night, and it would mainly be for damaging winds. So definitely be mindful of the damaging wind potential. But even then, I don't know if you're really going to see a whole lot of severe weather. Maybe just some rumbles of thunder. Gusty winds at least will be possible. I don't know about damaging winds. That might be a bit of a stretch because you're in like you're in the mountains there of North Carolina. Back to the west, there's a greater risk, but in North Carolina, the risk overall should be much lower. Yeah, if you're in Akron, Ohio tomorrow, be very mindful. Tornadoes are possible. You are in that risk as well. Midlife, yes, up to $50 size tail is possible. Back down on the Hartshome storm. Cannot pronounce the names tonight. But that area, that's back over in southeast Oklahoma. Flying trampolines, yeah, flying trampoline meter might be at a gone forever stage tomorrow just due to the tornado risk. Not really great videos. I retweeted a couple videos of storms going through the Rolla area and St. James. If you want to check that out, it's on our Twitter page at MaxVelocityWX. But yeah, there were some traffic cams in the area of where those tornadoes went, or the tornado warning storms went by. Let me actually see if I can find any sort of live camera feeds here. Here's a live cam view here. This is in Missouri. Lots of lightning. This is over near where the tornado warnings are currently ongoing. Got a lot of lightning here. Thank you, Ricky, by the way, for becoming a minimum velocity member. I appreciate that, and welcome to Velocities. Need an extension for the test that's coming up. At this point, I've studied for like 20 minutes, so we're not doing great so far. I've had no time to study, and I'm probably not gonna have much time tomorrow. It's gonna be like 3 hours at most, probably, of studying. It's not great, but that's the sacrifice that I make doing these live streams. So it is what it is. Thank you, Crimson, for the $10 super chat. Appreciate the coverage. Maybe we could talk into properly setting up my Radar Omega sometime. I can probably help you. Maybe at some point. It shouldn't be that difficult to do. I don't know if you're on iOS or something like that, but it shouldn't be too difficult. Currently looking at some of these live cams, seeing if we have any good views on anything. This is a pretty good view. Our live cam view here, right along Interstate 44 where the severe weather is located. Got some lightning there in the background. I'm not seeing anything too clear with this. Cameras are pretty low quality, but plenty of lightning, that's for sure. Oh man, look at this. This is where the severe weather is rolling through right now. High damaging winds. You can see the camera shaking. It's going kind of crazy. Look at that wind. This is really strong winds right now where these tornado warnings are. Wow. And I think the camera may have just gone out. We just had very strong damaging winds here. Likely the camera has blown out because of high winds. This is in St. Robert. So that was east of St. Robert where that just happened. That was some pretty intense winds. Wow. Wait, I'm trying to figure this out real quick. This actually may have been a video from earlier. This might have just been before it went out. All right, so I think that's what this is. So this is a live view of, this was St. Robert from earlier when the storms were rolling through. So this gives you an idea what the storms were doing about 30 minutes ago. Because the camera just goes out here at the end. This is probably just the last loop it plays, and I guess it just plays. It doesn't actually go out technically. But yeah, very high winds there in St. Robert. Interesting stuff. That's obviously a bit further off to the west from where the storm is now, because now it's in the Rolla area. And even the Rolla area is seeing some high winds right now. Here's a live view. You can see something whipping here on the guardrail. So strong winds still going through Rolla. And plenty of lightning right now across Missouri. Some truckers on the roadway there. Let's see if I can get another view of this further up the road. Lots and lots of lightning, as I mentioned before. Obviously, frequent lightning is a big deal with these storms right now. This is really one of our better camera views that we have that is right now in the track of these severe storms. Lots of lightning up there at the top of your screen. Might see some high winds at some point down the road. Again, this is a tornado warning that does include Rolla, Missouri, or northeast now of Rolla, Missouri. It goes back through St. James, Steelville, Leesburg, Sullivan, and Gerald. It is southwest of the St. Louis Metro. Main concern still remains damaging winds and as well as some isolated large hail. There's still a risk for a tornado. Now, that's a lot of lightning. And these are highly electrified storms this evening, and this is what it looks like on radar. Again, St. Louis back up here at the top right of your screen. This is heading in that direction. Main concern by that point will probably be damaging winds. I do think this tornado risk is at this point very low on this storm, even though there are tornado warnings. Anybody have any reports, by the way, on these storms? Anybody seen anything out there? Let me know in the chat if you're seeing anything out there. If you're in the vicinity of these storms. New discussion? Is there another one? Yeah, we do have a new mesoscale discussion. It is for Oklahoma, Texas, and Arkansas. Isolated strong wind gusts or hail may persist for a few more hours. Downstream watch is not expected. So, not really anything too crazy when it comes to the news there. Just, you know, the severe weather risk basically is dwindling in that area.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
We have a new tornado warning in Oklahoma. This is a storm that is now tornado warned northwest of Fort Smith. If you're in this area, seek shelter immediately, away from windows, lowest floor possible. This is not far from Fort Smith. Very strong velocities, actually. Not far from Marble City. And this storm right now moving east-northeast. If you know anybody just north of Fort Smith in this general vicinity, make sure to give them a call or text to make sure they're in their safe place, away from windows, lowest floor possible. And this is not the Missouri storm. This is a different one. This one is over in eastern Oklahoma. And seek shelter immediately, away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. So this is continuing to get even kind of crazier again. We got, again, strong rotation right now near Marble City. Main locations are Stillwell, Honey Hill, Paradise Hill, and Marble City. Rocky Mountains also included in this. Bunch, Oklahoma, Box, Oklahoma, Paradise Hill, and Nachitown. Again, this is not far from Fort Smith, so if you are just north of Fort Smith, you need to be monitoring this very closely if you're not in the warning. Just monitor the weather very closely, because the storm is not far from you. The storm is going to be moving east-northeast. Again, we have some strong rotation right now associated with this storm. That's going to be moving into Marble City in a few moments. This could produce a tornado at any time, so stay in your safe place, away from windows, lowest floor possible. Yes, there's going to be a Storm Prediction Center outlook in 20 minutes for tomorrow's severe weather risk, and I am going to be live for that because we are close enough to it anyway for me to be live. So we'll be live with whatever the update has in about 20 minutes. I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. And this is the rotation that we're looking at. It is strengthening rotation right over the 10 Killer Ferry Lake. That's an interesting name. 10 Killer Ferry Lake, just east of Paradise Hill. That is where the strongest rotation is as of right now. And we don't have any correlation coefficient drop on this. No confirmed tornado, but the rotation is strengthening here. And we could see a tornado at any time. And this is in Oklahoma. So if you are, again, in Oklahoma, seek shelter immediately. Or not in Oklahoma. If you're in eastern Oklahoma, near Paradise Hill, on the eastern side of the state, just northwest of Fort Smith, make sure that you're seeking shelter away from windows and on the lowest floor possible. And this is right over 10 Killer Lake, or 10 Killer Ferry Lake. And that's a pretty big lake, apparently. Just northwest of Marble City. Here's a more zoomed out look at what we're talking about here. Again, this is northwest of Fort Smith. This is the storm that we're talking about, with rotation associated with this storm near Route 82, near the 10 Killer Ferry Lake. And I've never heard of that lake before, and it sounds like kind of a crazy name, but it's just southwest of Stillwell. So if you're in Stillwell, Marble City, you need to be in your safe place. If you're in this pink polygon, again, away from windows, lowest floor possible. What I have circled in black is the rotation that is in this storm right now. So that's where the strongest pocket of rotation is, and we could see a tornado drop at any time. We'll wait for the next radar scan and see if anything comes out of it. Tornado threat literally waited for everybody to go to sleep before increasing again. Yeah, pretty much. Most of the tornado warnings as of lately have been literally as of like the last hour or so. Or last 2 hours, I should say. Fayetteville, by the way, under a new severe thunderstorm warning for damaging winds up to 60 miles per hour. That is in northwest Arkansas. New radar scan should be coming in here at any moment. And strong pocket of rotation developing just to the northwest of Marble City. New radar scan just came in. We'll see what the velocities look like. This is near 10 Killer Lake. And what we're looking at here on the velocities are winds going toward the radar and winds going away from the radar. So that's the pocket of rotation that we're looking at there. And this is where we're going to be watching for the potential for a tornado. And here's the latest radar scan. That's where the rotation is. Match this up with the reflectivity. And still got some rotation there on the leading edge. That's going to be approaching Marble City, Oklahoma. Eventually going towards Stillwell and Honey Hill. If you're in this warning, seek shelter immediately away from windows, lowest floor possible. Just got another radar scan. And looks like the rotation's a little bit weaker now. Definitely a damaging wind threat for sure, but we do still have a little bit of rotation there. Gonna be moving towards Honey Hill and Stillwell, Oklahoma. Again, stay in your safe place if you're in this tornado warning. One of the tornado warnings in Missouri, by the way, did get canceled or expired. One of the two. I believe it was canceled. So we still have one tornado warning remaining in Missouri. I'm in my truck bed near Honey Hill. Stay safe. Truck bed. It's an interesting place. I do not recommend being in a car during a tornado warning. I will be talking about what to expect in Ohio once we have the new outlook from the Storm Prediction Center, which is in like 18 minutes. So stay tuned. Either that or come back tomorrow, because we'll be live again probably around lunchtime tomorrow. Friendly reminder, subscribe to the channel down below. It's the red button down below. Subscribe. Again, we'll be live again tomorrow for extensive severe weather coverage. We already had our longest live stream in our history of our channel today, and we are going on a +2 hour live stream tonight, and then we'll be live again for about 7 hours tomorrow doing in-depth, extensive, severe weather coverage in the Ohio Valley with the tornado outbreak potential. Am I on spring break? No, I am actively in college doing this. It's kind of crazy. I have an exam on Wednesday, and there's no time to study. It's going to be literally all severe weather coverage. It's kind of crazy. It's getting to the point where I have no free time at all right now. But that's what severe weather season does. It's very busy. I am retweeting a photo, by the way, on Twitter, or some photos of damage in the Barnesdale area from a tornado that went through that area. We were live when that happened a little earlier today. So you can check that out on our Twitter page at MaxVelocityWX. All right, we do have a new radar scan. We'll check out the velocities, kind of match it up and see if there's any rotation or strong rotation. And rotation's weakening quite a bit on this. They might just cancel this warning entirely. Rotation's weakening quite a bit. Definitely some damaging winds here, but overall the concern here for a tornado is decreasing as this moves further to the east. Rotation's weakening pretty quickly. What am I majoring in? I'm majoring in meteorology. It's what I'm doing right now. We're graduating in a year with a bachelor's in meteorology. 1 year away. Approximately 1 year. Yes, there's still one tornado warning in Missouri. We got this one in Oklahoma as well. Rotation's weakened quite a bit over the last several minutes. I would still stay in your safe place, though, just in case. I'm real quickly going to take a quick bathroom break. I'll be back in 60 seconds since we're in between radar scans. Again, stay in your safe place, and I'll be back in 60 seconds. After that, by the way, we'll be talking about Ohio and stuff at about 1 a.m. So that's when we'll talk about that. The new Storm Prediction Center outlook comes out at 1 a.m. We'll see if there's any major changes. I'll read through and see if they are considering a high risk for severe weather tomorrow or not. We'll figure that out probably at 1. So stay tuned. Be right back. All right. I am back, and we still have a tornado warning again, currently ongoing in eastern Oklahoma. The one that was back up in Missouri has also been canceled. So this is our only tornado warning right now, which is making pretty good timing, because as long as there's no tornado warnings at 1 o'clock, we're going to be able to go over the Storm Prediction Center outlook that comes out for the severe weather event tomorrow, or technically today now, across the Ohio Valley. And we'll also be able to do some timing stuff and answer a few questions on that. So cool beans, as long as that all kind of plays out. But as of right now, we still have a tornado warning for Stillwell, Honey Hill, for the next several minutes. The main concern, again, will be the potential here for a tornado, but I do think damaging winds is becoming a bit more of a dominant concern. I think the tornado risk is going down a little bit on this storm. With that being said, I would still stay in your safe place just in case this tries to produce a tornado at some point in the next few minutes. All right. Here's the latest radar scan. We'll check out the velocities again. Should come out here in a second. Mostly a damaging wind risk right now, but we are still watching for a low tornado risk out of this. Again, this is right now in eastern Oklahoma. Do I get extra credit from my channel? No, I've never asked for extra credit, and I don't think it's really necessary. Yeah, rotation's pretty weak on this storm. Yeah, I'm mostly concerned now about damaging winds and hail, which hail pretty low concern, but there might be a little bit of like some small hail, at least in that part of the storm, back up near 82 and 100, those two roads just west of Stillwell. Damaging winds still a concern as well near Marble City, and as well as going towards Honey Hill and Stillwell. And that'll eventually, by the way, go into Arkansas. So definitely still a chance that produces some severe weather. Quick update on the storms back up here in Missouri. The main concern with these are still damaging winds. There is still a chance for some large hail and maybe an isolated tornado risk as this all moves to the east-northeast. But that's really the main concern right now up there. I don't see much of a tornado risk at the time being, but there might be something that tries to evolve over the next hour. And again, in about 10 minutes or so, the next SPC outlook should be out. Looks like there's a decent storm near Springfield, Missouri. Mind checking it? Yeah, I can check it out. Not really. Just damaging winds. We don't really have anything crazy here. Definitely lightning, but the storms are overall pretty much weakening out here. There's a new tornado warning, but there are issues with the radar system. What tornado warning are we talking about? Is there like a specific area? What class do I have to study for? It's geoscience. It's not really that hard. It's just there's a lot of information that is on it. I think St. Louis is down. St. Louis is down. Yeah. Oh, I see. Huh. That is unfortunate. Yeah, it is down. It is very down. It's been down for about 25 minutes. I didn't even realize that. We've been mostly focused on the Oklahoma storm for the last several minutes. Yeah, the St. Louis radar site right now is down. Not sure how it went out, but it did go out. Here's the latest radar scan. Again, this is moving towards Honey Hill and Stillwell. Main concern, again, will be damaging winds. I do think the tornado risk is really dying out on this storm in eastern Oklahoma. Again, with that being said, in about 9 minutes, we'll have the next Storm Prediction Center outlook for tomorrow. Approximately 9 minutes. Sometimes they're late on it. Sometimes they're early. You never know. So they'll probably be late. Probably like 5 minutes late or something. But that should be out in about 10 minutes or so. I almost fell asleep in my VR headset last night. I just got this VR headset a few days ago, and I almost fell asleep. I was watching YouTube shorts on it. I legitimately almost fell asleep. It's a crazy story, but it's true. I was literally watching a short, and all of a sudden I start dozing off. Almost fell asleep in it. I don't know if anybody that has a VR headset has done that before, but I got the MetaQuest 2, the old one. It went on sale on Amazon for like $200. It's interesting. Played basketball, my arm hurt like after that, and it's just regular basketball in the VR headset. It's interesting. It's a very interesting experience. It also gets you very dizzy. I do have to say that. Is Radar Omega easy to work with? In my opinion, I find it very easy to work with. It takes a little bit to get used to, but yeah, I think it's pretty easy. You slept in VR chat 2 nights ago. Oh my god. Fall asleep playing VR. Okay, a lot of people have actually had experiences like this. All right, at least I'm not the only one. Any more interesting stories? That's the only one I can think of. It's the only recent one that I can think of. Yeah, if you're just tuning in, Eastern Oklahoma, weak rotation at this point near Honey Hill and Stillwell. Tornado warning still ongoing for a few more minutes. See if they cancel it or not. It does go until 1:15 a.m., but they may cancel it. We'll see. VR honestly impressed me. It is pretty impressive. I kind of wanted to get the MetaQuest 3, but it was pretty expensive. $500 for a VR is quite a bit. It'll probably go on sale in a few years anyways. I don't play it very often. It was just kind of for fun. I do gotta say one thing though. After all these live streams, I need to go somewhere for just a day. Maybe a park or something. I've literally had no free time ever since, I would say even late Saturday is when it really began. I mean, I had a bunch of other stuff to do, but like it really began Saturday. I've been so busy the last few days in severe weather coverage. So hopefully after tomorrow we get some break at least to some extent. And even Wednesday I'm busy with non-related weather stuff. Go on a vacation in your VR. That's a great idea. Fantastic idea. I'm gonna go on vacation in my VR. That's so exciting. You're in your basement in Sullivan, Missouri. Let me check it out. You don't really have to, I mean, you don't have to be in your basement. It's just mainly strong storms in that area. You might get some gusty winds or small hail, and lightning, obviously, there's plenty of that. But other than that, I mean, you can stay in your safe place if you want. You're not under an imminent risk, though, right now of severe weather in those areas. The latest radar scan still showing not really a whole lot of rotation. We do have a bit more of a inflow and a hook trying to develop now, so that might try to materialize a little bit, but as of right now, it's not too impressive. Again, this is right now moving east. Like moving toward Stillwell over the next several minutes. And stay in your safe place, away from windows, lowest floor possible if you're included in this tornado warning. We could also get a tornado risk going in here, by the way, back down near Branson. Got a little bit of rotation trying to develop now along another line of storms, making another QLCS going. Another tornado risk could materialize out of this as it moves across southern Missouri and northern Arkansas. So just keep that in mind if you're back over in those directions. You can check on Branson, Missouri. Just did. Yeah, Branson, Missouri. Damaging wind's the main concern, but maybe an isolated tornado. A brief tornado. It's a low risk, but something to keep in mind here over the next hour. Thank you for your 199 mines. Appreciate it. By the way, thank you to anybody, by the way, that has subscribed to our channel today. I do really appreciate it.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
We have 10,000 new subscribers today. Brand new tornado warning was just issued for areas southwest of St. Louis. Don't have really a great radar view on this, but that's near Sullivan. The main concern there will be the potential for damaging winds, but there's now a new tornado warning on that storm. And we do not have a great view on that. We have like no view at all on this, I don't think, because the St. Louis site is out. Unfortunately, we have no radar view on this. That's unfortunate. With that being said, just stay in your safe place, away from windows, lowest floor possible, interior room of your home or building. It's an unknown with this storm, basically, because we don't have really any view on this storm with rotation. But again, this is going to be moving towards St. Clair, Eureka eventually. St. Louis, still stay on alert. It's not far from you. It'll be moving in your direction here over the next little while as the storm continues to move to the north and east. So again, if you are in this new tornado warning near Sullivan, Missouri, St. Clair, and Fletcher, stay in your safe place, away from windows, lowest floor possible. That's a basement, a storm shelter, a closet, bathroom. That's the best places to be right now. This includes a population of 22,000. Includes Parkway, Piney Park, Lone Dell, Richwoods, and Sullivan. This is the most we've ever been live in a singular day. Over 10 hours now of being live today. Fun fact. Crazy stuff. Yeah, QLCS is quasi-linear convective storms, or system. I think it's system. I could be wrong. Pretty sure it's system, right? Last word is system. Still got the tornado warning as well north of Fort Smith, going into Arkansas here shortly. Not really any rotation left with this storm. The main concern at this point is going to be damaging winds. Still watching for a large hail threat that's growing on it as well. Still wouldn't rule out an isolated tornado. Thank you, Chloe, for the 199 update on Northeast Texas. Northeast Texas is basically winding down at this point. Maybe an ordinary thunderstorm, but that's about it. There's not much left there. Pretty minimal storm activity at this point there. Do I fear any weather incident? No. I don't fear weather. I mean, I cover it all the time. I haven't really I mean, like, and personally for me, I have not, like, I kind of outgrew it back when I was younger. I used to be really afraid of lightning and storms when I was younger, but that was years ago. It was like when I was like 8. Yeah, the storm that's right now southwest of St. Louis does have a tornado warning with it. Again, this one's been going for a while now. We don't have any clear view on this storm, unfortunately. The radar site has also just gone out in St. Charles, so we have no radar at all in St. Louis area. So unfortunately, we kind of have to rely on the backup, which is going to be our very low quality MRMS, which does show, I don't think, velocities, so not really helpful, but it does show you the reflectivity. Yeah, this doesn't help either, so no, we don't really have any radar site right now in the St. Louis area. With that being said, I do think if we do get a tornado, it would be on the brief side of things, and it's overall a pretty low risk. Again, that's southwest of St. Louis. That'll be approaching areas like Lubbering, St. Clair, and eventually Eureka. Just radar indicated rotation, not confirmed. And also we have a lot of tornado damage, it looks like. This was from the PDS tornado earlier that we went live for initially, or close to when we went live for it. Good sized tree damage and a tree across the street in Fairgrove, Missouri. Via X social media. Sizable pieces of sheet metal partially wrapped around trees in North Farm Road 185 and significant tree damage along North Farm Road 177, time based by radar. And then we also had reports of trees down, as well as some debris on roadways in the area of 38 Old Crest Hill Road in the Elkland area. So this was when we had a tornado. It was a PDS tornado just north of Springfield. That's presumably what that is all from. Max, zoom out on radar. About half of the sites are nationwide are down. Also, Jackson, Tennessee, looking for tomorrow. That's a lot of one thing. Are all What in the world? Is this just a radar Omega outage? Or is this like an outage? Oh, yeah, there's like no radar sites online right now. This is like a nationwide outage of radar sites. I don't know if I've ever seen this before. All those red circles that you see are out of service radars. So it's a National Weather Service outage, presumably. So we have no radars pretty much. We have like 2 in this general area. So that's interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Yeah, so all the radar sites right now are out, except for a few. We have the one that's over in Fort Smith that's still running on a storm that is not really rotating. It's just some wind right now. That tornado warning has kind of been minimal. And we also have that tornado warning near St. Louis. We have no view on at all. So, yeah, we don't have any radar sites that are working as of right now. I cannot say I've ever seen that before. I have no clue what the cause of it is. I have no clue. Thank you, thank you, Mines, for the $9.99 super chat. I live on a top floor condo in Branson, Missouri, with nowhere really to take shelter. Where should I go to be safest? Usually the lowest floor possible. Find a friend, find a roommate, whatever it might be on the lowest floor. Find a partial friend. I don't know. Find a fish on the bottom floor. And just
just come into their room and has been issued
for the best. That's such a horrible description. Oh man, we have a new tornado warning. No, for the real though, like go to like a bathroom on the bottom floor, like just have that prepared ahead of time. Find a friend on the lowest floor possible. Just do something like that. Another tornado warning issued for, that was horrendous. Another tornado warning for Cuba and Sullivan. This is going to be another tornado warning, so we're up to 3 now. So this is associated with the same activity here. Again, we got a radar view as of 11 minutes ago, but we don't have a recent one. So I don't know what this tornado warning exactly is for. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is 10 minutes old, and I don't know why we'd have a tornado warning here. I'm getting a little bit confused right now. Let's go to the MRMS. Oh man. All right. This is as of 1:02. I mean, I'm guessing they're issuing this tornado warning for some sort of backside rotation here. Again, guys, I'm trying my best here. We don't have any radar sites. It's all out right now. So this is interesting situation all around. Presumably what we're looking at here is some sort of storm that is developed on the backside that is producing some sort of rotation. I don't know. I really don't. I don't know what the exact reason for this tornado warning is. I have flash flood warnings that were just issued for St. Louis and as well as Owensville, though. This is what happens after you've been live for 10 hours in one day. This is what happens. Everything just melts down. It's over. It's just over. New SBC update just came out for tomorrow. Here's a early preview to it. We'll have more specifics in a second. Moderate risk of severe weather has actually shifted a little. It has shifted further back west, which is what I expected. It's also a little bit further south, I believe. So I'm going to compare apples to apples here. In a way. There we go. So this is apples to apples. So the moderate risk, that's the one that we have now, and then this is the new update. So it has shifted further south and west. The enhanced risk has shifted a little bit further back south and west. The slight risk is slightly further back west. So overall, the risk has basically backtracked a little bit to the west. We now have another tornado warning, apparently, that's updated.
A new tornado warning has been issued.
This is the one that's southwest of St. Louis near Sullivan. It's now it looks kind of like a butterfly almost. New tornado warning here. This is for Sullivan, St. Clair, Union, and Fletcher. Again, if you're in this area, seek shelter away from windows, lowest floor possible. Again, we have no radar data that's within the last 10 minutes at all when it comes to anything reliable and accurate. So at this point, we're just dealing with what we have. Again, if you're in St. Clair, Union, or Fletcher, just stay in your safe place away from windows, lowest floor possible. Oh, Paducah? You can't see Paducah from here. Or can you? Oh, maybe you can. This is as of 12:25 p.m. Again, once again, just not recent. Yeah, I mean, even on every weather app right now, it just the radars are not working, unfortunately. Some sort of outage. The tornado warning, by the way, is going to be like to expire in western or eastern parts of Kansas, or sorry, eastern parts of Oklahoma. I'm going crazy at this point. Yeah. The main concern there being damaging winds, large hail. There is a tornado possible label on that. The tornado focus is going to shift now to this QLCS that's moving into areas like St. Louis. And we'll be watching for that. But again, not really any radar sites that we can use there. All right, let's check out the Storm Prediction Center outlook for tomorrow. Again, there's been an update from the Storm Prediction Center. I'm going to kind of read through their wording too, give you an idea of what I'm thinking too about tomorrow. The tornado risk still is the same basically as yesterday. It's a 15% hatched area, meaning that there is a moderate risk for tornadoes. So flying trampoline meter is going to be at the gone forever stage for tomorrow. So anywhere in that red shaded area, be mindful. Strong tornadoes will be possible. In addition to this, the large hail threat is mainly going to be in the same area. So that's where we could see some large to very large hail, and then damaging winds also the main concern across the board. I will pull it up on Radar Omega once we have that information. But as of right now, this is what the Storm Prediction Center is saying. I'm going to read it word by word here. A potentially substantial severe weather outbreak, possibly including a few significant and long-track tornadoes, is anticipated this afternoon and evening, with the highest probability centered over the Ohio Valley. Severe risk exists as far south as the Gulf Coast and as far east as the western portions of Virginia into the Carolinas. I'm not going to read through all the details here because a lot of them are really specific sort of stuff. Let's see if I can pick it out any notes here. Tornadoes, damaging winds, large hail are expected with supercells that evolve across the warm sector, and this will lead to some tornadoes could be long-lived and strong, which is very deep wording, by the way. That means long-tracked and strong tornadoes are possible tomorrow. That was not something I don't think that was mentioned in today's outlook, by the way. Farther south, a bimodal severe threat will ultimately evolve with a secondary corridor of more concentrated severe weather. So for those like Tennessee and the Gulf Coast states, will be in that area, and this will allow for some severe. There's some concern that severe probabilities may need to be increased across this region, which would be again the Gulf Coast states, because of the low latitude speed maximum during the evening and overnight hours. Strong shear will support supercells capable of a threat for tornadoes, damaging winds, and hail. So tomorrow again will be another active day. And again, that is the latest from the Storm Prediction Center, and that is interesting that they're considering a increase of the outlook as well further down to the south. Here is that risk of severe weather, by the way. Better view of it. So. St. Louis radar, by the way, is still down. So it has not updated. Still behind. Yeah, tomorrow sounds like a big day. With that being said, the only thing that I can realistically be live for tomorrow will be the Ohio Valley tornado threat. I'm not going to be able to be live throughout if there is some sort of significant tornado risk in the Dixie Alley tomorrow evening, it's just not going to be possible because I do have to study to some extent tomorrow, which is what I was going to say after 7 p.m. for. So yeah, with that being said, we will be live for sure for the Ohio Valley event. We'll be live all the way through about 7 p.m. tomorrow. So 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. is the approximate ETA on when we'll be live tomorrow. With that being said, the main thing that we will be covering is going to be the Ohio Valley. We'll be with Storm Chaser Connor Croft. He'll be doing live coverage. He does fantastic storm chases across the Ohio Valley. He is very good with catching tornadoes in that area. So make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Click the bell icon down below so you're notified when we go live tomorrow. We'll probably start the stream with a Q&A session like we did today. We'll have a, again, in-depth dive and answer your questions, kind of go over what to expect on the day tomorrow. And we'll go from there. The live stream is probably going to start at 12. That's my current guesstimate. latest it'll start probably is either 1 or 2. And again, the first hour or 2 will mostly just be the forecast and answering questions. I'm going to see what the latest data is as well in Illinois and Indiana. See what the timing might look like. Anything has changed. Yeah, so might start closer to 1. Might give myself that extra hour of sleep. Yeah, so we'll probably start around 1 o'clock or so Eastern tomorrow with a severe weather coverage. Again, either way, just subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon down below so you're notified when we go live, and then you'll get notified that way. With that being said, again, tomorrow will be a busy day. We're gonna have multiple tornado warnings pretty much all day long, and it's going to be very, very, very active. So make sure that you have multiple ways to receive alerts. Do not just rely on my live stream. I highly recommend you getting some form of another way, another weather app, whatever it might be to get alerts. Get a weather radio. I think there's a weather radio linked on this live stream. Can anybody let me know if that's actually there? I think that's there. But I'm not 100% sure. Do you guys see that? But if you need a weather radio, that's a great way to also stay alert. All right, so it is there apparently. So weather radio is pinned in the stream somehow. I'm not sure how that all works. So you can always pick one of those up from your local grocery store, or local department store like Walmart or something like that. And yeah, again, we'll be live for a vast majority of tomorrow. Yes, Union, Missouri is under, or I don't know. Yeah, Union, Missouri is under a tornado warning too. Again, we have no radar site on any of this area, so we really don't have. Oh, there we go. It's back up. All right, so we do have a radar site now. And there's not a whole lot of rotation. Got maybe a little bit of rotation there near the Lubring area, maybe a little bit near St. Clair. It's pretty weak rotation overall, though. Again, this is just southwest of St. Louis, so we do have at least some view now, and even that one's not really rotation. Yeah, I'm not seeing much rotation here. The tornado warning that's issued right now, I'm not seeing much rotation on at this point. Lots of lightning, though, for sure. All right, let me get back to some of these things real quick. Tornado warning in Oklahoma will likely be let to expire, by the way. Thank you, Kat, for the $4.99 super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you. Radar outage is trending on Twitter? Really? When is weather stuff ever trending on Twitter? It's very rare. Unless it's just like a local trending thing. I'm not seeing it trending, but I'm guessing there's like some sort of like maybe localized trend or something that's happening there. By the way, tornado warning has been canceled behind this storm. So Sullivan, St. Clair, Union still included in this tornado warning for the time being. And this is all moving towards St. Louis. The main concern will still be damaging winds. A low tornado risk does exist. Tornado warning has also just ended in Oklahoma, so we're down to this last tornado warning just southwest of St. Louis. Friendly reminder, again, if you are just tuning in for the first time, make sure to subscribe down below. Click the bell icon down below so as well, or I can't speak anymore. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Again, we'll be live again tomorrow for severe weather coverage. Like the stream if you've been finding informative thus far. Click the bell icon so you're notified when we go live tomorrow for in-depth severe weather coverage. Again, we are still covering this tornado warning for a few more minutes in the basically the very far western St. Louis suburbs. Again, I'm not too concerned about this tornado risk, but it is going to be something to watch for as it does continue to move to the east-northeast. And St. Louis, be mindful. The storm will be moving in your direction here over the next hour or so. Or next 30 minutes or so. I'm losing it. We've been live for 10.5 hours today. It's been crazy. But When's the next SPC Outlook update? The next Outlook will not be until tomorrow morning. So it won't be until, I believe, 7:30 or 8:30. I think it's 7:30 Central Time is when the next Outlook is. I have an appointment tomorrow in St. Louis. I'm assuming I should reschedule. Not necessarily. I mean, you don't have to reschedule your appointment. There's not really going to be much happening there tomorrow. Everything that's happening is tonight into early tomorrow morning, and then you're pretty much done. Thank you, Autumn, for the $1.99. Appreciate it. Thank you. No problem, Aline. How's it going, Exploration? Welcome back. Good evening? It's more like good morning at this point. The velocities radar is not updated in the last 6 minutes. Also, the reflectivity has not updated in the last 6 minutes. I do think the radar outage is still in effect, unfortunately, in this area. With that being said, the rotation's pretty weak on this storm. It's moving northeast. It's pretty weak rotation overall. It's nothing too out of the ordinary at this point. But yeah, with all that being said, we'll at least live for a few more minutes and see if anything happens here, but if not, we'll probably end the live stream. And again, plan tomorrow is to go live sometime during the afternoon with a severe weather coverage live stream. Again, another extensive coverage for probably about 6 to 7 hours. Again, we'll be live primarily for the Ohio Valley severe weather threat. Will not really be live too much for the Southeast. We'll be live for the Southeast event till about 7 p.m. Eastern time or so, and then we'll kind of wind down from there. But again, if you are new to the channel, just make sure to subscribe down below, and we'll be keeping you posted with the latest. We'll be live tomorrow afternoon and evening for some severe weather coverage. No problem, economics. Thank you, Kyrene, for the $9.99. Thank you for live streaming. Good luck on the exam. Don't worry, I'm prepared. Not really. I've had 20 minutes of studying thus far, and I mean, after live, again, I'm probably gonna be live until about 7 tomorrow. So as long as I'm ending the live stream around then, I should be all right. I should be able to get a few hours of studying in after that. Just a lot of stuff to be doing in the very short amount of time. A lot of stuff. No problem, Crystal. Yeah, unfortunately, again, strong tornadoes. A severe weather outbreak is likely tomorrow. Multiple tornadoes will be possible. We'll, again, have Storm Chaser Connor Croft with us in the field tomorrow. It's going to be another long day. Radar Omega will also be sponsoring tomorrow's live stream. Just really unrelated to everything, but it will be, again, another busy day tomorrow. But I'm going to try to at least get 8 hours of sleep tonight, maybe 9 hours, and go from there for tomorrow. It'll be another busy day. With that being said, the radars aren't updating. I would say at this point, obviously, stay in your safe place if you're in the tornado warning for a few more minutes, but I do think this tornado risk is dwindling down at this point. A few things before I get offline for the night. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel if you're not already. I'm going to post our link to all of our social medias in the chat. Make sure to click on that link. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and as well as on Discord. All those links are on the Linktree link that I posted in chat. If you are new to the channel, subscribe down below. Click the bell icon down below so you're notified if and when we do go live. Again, we'll be live probably sometime in the afternoon tomorrow. In addition to all this, thank you guys all so much for watching today. We've been live for over 10.5 hours total today. The longest amount of streaming I've ever done in one day before was like 8 hours, I think. So we're well over that today. We've gained over 11,000 subscribers today. Unbelievable. again, we've never done that before either. It's just crazy. We're almost at 150,000 subscribers somehow. We could have a chance of hitting that tomorrow, which is really crazy to think. And also, we've already hit our viewership that we had in 2023. We've had 10 million total views on this channel in 2024. We had about 9 million all of 2023. So I appreciate you guys all supporting the page. That's what I'm basically saying. It's crazy stuff. Thank you guys all so much for tuning in. Again, we'll be doing live coverage again tomorrow. Severe weather coverage, in-depth coverage. We'll have Storm Chaser Connor Croft with us. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Click the bell icon down below so you're notified when we go live tomorrow. And also, if you want to support the page above and beyond, you can become a member for as little as $2.99 a month. The Become a Member link is down in the description below. It's the top link in the description if you want to become a member. Join our membership club. It's $2.99 a month. It's helps our page out a lot, helps us be able to do a bunch of the upgrades that we're doing to our studio. And in addition to that, you can also click the join button down below if you'd like to do that. All right, we'll see you guys all again tomorrow before I fall asleep here in the next 5 minutes. Appreciate you guys all tuning in. Have a great, safe rest of your night. We'll see you guys all again tomorrow afternoon and as well as evening for in-depth severe weather coverage. See you guys all again soon. Have a great night.